Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Wednesdays. And while we're saying that, I'm going to go ahead and change the thing here so that it says Wrestling Wednesdays, not TFT. But yeah, this is your boy Jay Dash. I'm here with, of course, Dion and Eugene. How you guys doing today?
Doing quite well. Just still trying to melt.
Doing well myself. How are y'all?
Doing fine, doing fine. So yeah, as I said, busy weekend, busy week in wrestling in general. Um, it was just a lot going on this week in wrestling to the point where I actually did not even watch all of it. So yeah, hopefully we can cover the majority of everything that happened this week. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right in. We're gonna start with just due to the hectic schedule. We're gonna bypass Impact Wrestling because we all know Impact Wrestling is doing the same thing week to week, and we'll continue with Impact next week. But starting with the G1 Climax, Eugene, how did that finish up?
Finished up very satisfying. Very satisfying. If anyone caught it, you know that the final came down to Bullet Club leader Jay White versus Kota Ibushi. And Kota last year was the runner-up. He lost the final match, but this year he got his redemption. He is officially the winner of G1 Climax 29, which means he stamps his name in the main event of New Japan's January 4th show, Wrestle Kingdom, next year against the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And yeah, satisfying ending, real great last few matches, last few days, as a matter of fact. And there was also a nice little twist that happened, like before the main event match.
Mm-hmm.
Kenta, formerly known as Hideo Watami, is now a member of Bullet Club. And
Hmm.
Bullet Club,
So you
if
spent
you
enough
haven't been
time in
hot,
the West
yeah,
to where hey, you're in the Bullet Club now because you
yeah,
spent enough time in the West. Is
yeah.
it
So
how
this
many Japanese people have joined the Bullet Club?
right now, there, like to my knowledge, I think there's only been one other Japanese guy. I can't say the name off the top of my head, but he calls himself the Tokyo Pimp. Um,
Wait, the
but
Tokyo Pimp?
yeah, that's his nickname. He always comes out with this like Playboy bunny esque girl. So
Mm-hmm.
he goes by the moniker like Tokyo Pimp. But as
Okay.
far as I as far as I know, like he is the only like Japanese member of Bullet Club.
Okay.
I feel like I'm. Oh wait, no, there is another person. I don't know his name either, but he goes by like a what is it, Bone Soldier, Bone Soldier.
Bone Soldier.
But yeah, so in total there are three, and I apologize if I forgot anyone else who had either been or is currently with Bullet Club that's Japanese.
Okay.
Okay. Educate me a little bit. You say the Bullet Club consists of Western wrestlers, right?
Yeah, it's well the inception of it. So this was formed in 2013, and it was formed by Fergal Devitt, who's now Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, and then
Mm-hmm.
two other foreigners from Tonga, known as Adluck Fale, who's this big like almost like Kevin Nash esque like character, Diesel character, and
Right.
Tamatanga, who is like who calls himself the bad boy. He's kind of like a modern day Razor Ramon in regards to like attitude and machismo. So
uh,
it starts off with those four, and then it just kind of escalated from there. They started getting other members like Luke Gallows. They got members like at one point they got Scott Hall's son. I believe his name is Chase Hall, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. They also got the Young Bucks, whom everyone knows who the Young Bucks are in the independent wrestling scene. They got AJ Styles, who became one of their prominent leaders during his stretch in New Japan, and also won like the heavyweight championship during his time. And then it shifted over to Kenny Omega, who we know who Kenny Omega is now, and then they've been getting like a bunch of foreigners, bunch of like Westerners.
Cody
It's a
Rhodes.
bunch, yeah, Yeah, Cody Rhodes. I forgot. Sorry about Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman Page.
Hangman.
The
Mm-hmm.
villain Marty Scurll from Ring of Honor. So yeah, they got a bunch of. It's to an extent where it's like because of like the publicity and like the Young Bucks YouTube channel, like they got their merch at Hot Topic. You know, they started to become the trendy thing all throughout like the last maybe 2, 3, 4 years. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just from this one little entity that consisted of four outsiders, now it's just exploded to be this near worldwide type of
Yeah, it's kind of like
action.
the modern day NWO where they invaded
Yeah,
another wrestling
I
company
was
and
about to
yeah,
say that's exactly what it sounds like.
I mean the two
The
fleet
Yeah,
everything, you know,
Japan's
yeah,
version of NWO,
yeah.
and
and
now
you
now
know,
it's the OC in America, States of America,
yeah,
the
the old
original, the what is it? The
the old
original,
Oh,
the official, the
the old
only
coo-
club that
the
matters.
old coots.
So yeah, yeah. And
But
if you had to say overall G1 climax for somebody who's looking to get into NJPW, what would be the one match that you would have said throughout the whole tournament that this is the must-watch match?
there's so many matches though. That's the thing. There are so many great matches.
Well,
Like
then give us a
there's
couple
some.
that
Okay,
if I'm
let me
trying to
go
get an
down my
NJPW, these are the
let
ones
me
that are
go down my
must-watch.
list. Let me start with day one because day one already had classics. Day one, the ones in Dallas had Zack Sabre Jr. Sonata was a classic.
Yeah, I remember you told me that one.
Uh, Tanahashi Okada was a good match. Let me see. Two. Day three. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kazuchi Okada was a tense match. I think any. Okay, so let's say. I think any of the matches that consisted of Kota Ibushi, who won the G1,
Mm-hmm.
as well as I'll say Tetsuya Naito. That guy is the leader of the group over there known as Los Ingobernables de Japón,
Okay.
which is yeah. Any match that those two consist of, I think were like automatic top ones. But if I had to pick if I had to pick one that stood out, let me see. Let me scroll down a little bit. Um, I would say maybe I would say Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchi Okada, which was I want to say it took place second to last day
Okay.
of the G1.
Okay. So that's
Yeah,
the
I
match.
would say if anything, yeah, that's the match where I was like, okay, that was a damn good match.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm leaving out something. I mean, each their
Because
own, but I mean, if
there's
I
so
had to
many good
pick,
match in the G1
exactly, there
climax
were
that
so
it's
many
kind
good
of
ones,
hard.
and so much of variety too. Like
Mm-hmm.
you had your like maybe squash matches, like kind of like throwaway matches. You had some funny matches, and then you had some like just instant classics.
Okay.
But if I had to pick, I probably would say Ibushi versus Okada.
Ibushi versus Okada. Okay. Cool. So there you go, everybody. If you're interested in trying to get into G1 climax, Ibushi versus Okada. As I said, I started looking at a few matches. I'm still behind. I have to wait till the in-laws are gone, which this is the last week.
And it's
And
understandable.
then
There's so many matches. It's very
yeah,
understandable. There's so
life
many
and
matches.
time return to normality for me. So
Yeah.
that'll help out with as far as freeing up some time for me.
dude, just force the in-laws to watch wrestling with you. You know.
No, just wait till they leave and return to normality. That's the option. So,
Okay.
so that's there we go. G1 Climax and JPW. Um, we have to move on to WWE now. Now
Yeah.
the logo is up there and it's been up there the whole time. I didn't even switch to NJPW because this week is a big WWE week. I am going to personally start by saying from the week build up to SummerSlam and the week after SummerSlam, including the SummerSlam weekend, is the best wrestling I've seen on TV in quite some time.
On TV, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Listen, what I mean by this, as far as entertainment wise,
Uh-huh.
WWE is starting to wake up.
And you know why that is?
Because the competition's around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with the way they've produced the past 2 weeks of wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
AEW might be in trouble if they can keep up this momentum. Like, I can tell you this: if WWE ran programming like they did the past 2 weeks, I don't know if I would even turn to AEW.
Really?
Yes. But do I have faith that they can? No. No, I don't. I don't have faith that they can do this consistently week to week. But
Well,
Who, WWE or AEW?
WWE. So
go ahead. Go ahead.
curiosity will spike and go to AEW and say what's going on over there. But if WWE ran programming the way they did these past 2 weeks, week to week, I would be satisfied with just the WWE product.
Well, Murph, I'm gonna disagree a little bit because, like you said, well, then again, you say if they can keep it up. I think they can. Now, I think they might have a couple of down weeks here and there, but I think I give a lot of credit, mainly for Raw, to Paul Heyman. You notice
SmackDown. But SmackDown was good this week.
Yes, it was. Now, I don't know if he's helping with that or they got somebody else taking over to coincide with Raw, but you notice ever since he started running things, at least on Raw's end, the show gradually started improving. The storylines got better. Things got interesting.
Agreed.
I mean, something that's been missing for the longest. I mean, more. I think it's also a addition by subtraction. Vince been keeping his hands off of things.
No. Vince actually destroyed all of SmackDown last week and did it like a couple hours before the show. That's how the Aleister Black versus Sami Zayn made it off the pay-per-view and onto that, because they had a big time gap, and it was like, well, what do we do here? I guess we got to throw the match from SummerSlam on here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that horrible entrance that we were making fun of last week?
Right.
And then and I'll say this: the style of SmackDown this week, that is not Eric Bischoff's style. And I understand that Eric Bischoff is supposed to be doing the same thing that Paul Heyman's doing, but I heard Eric Bischoff was doing it more for the network connections that he has, because how they're going to be moving over to Fox, and Eric Bischoff's used to working with big networks when he did with TNT and things like that. So that's what I was told. Like, that's the big reason for Eric Bischoff being in SmackDown. So whatever is happening right now in WWE, they are. And I'm not saying everything's great, but what I'm saying is enough of it is great to where you're intrigued.
Yeah.
You are super intrigued with WWE right now. And let's go ahead and start with the NXT TakeOver.
Oh, yes.
I've yet to watch the main event. I'm going to watch the main event, but I've yet to see the main event, but I watched the rest of it. And for starters, let's just go down
the card.
Go down the card, because the first match was. So I
Street
guess
Profit.
we were all wrong when we said that we think that this is when the Undisputed Era wins all the gold. But
no, that was just Eugene.
No,
Yeah.
I said but Eugene convinced me, so I actually went with Eugene. You remember, because I started by saying I don't think the Street Profits are going to lose, but then we came to the conclusion that, well, the Street Profits will end up on Raw, they're going to lose the tag team titles, and they'll be on Raw. And I was like, okay, now you all convinced me, because they've been appearing on Raw. But they did not do it. And I didn't even watch the pre-show, because there's a couple matches on the pre-show.
Right.
I
And
think
I never look at pre-shows. So
the pre-show matches usually go on like the Wednesday after Takeover. So like tonight they're gonna show the pre-show match.
Okay. Okay. Because what about if you watch the NXT pre-show? Will they not be on there?
Well, if you were there live, because I went to what was it, War Games when
Uh
it
huh.
came over here,
Uh
I
huh.
think a few years ago, and they showed I want to say it was Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville, and they showed Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano. But those matches never aired like on the pre-show of Takeover, but those matches did air on the Wednesday after Takeover for their
Wow.
weekly TV
Those
show.
sound like two good matches too that you got to see.
mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were really good
Yeah, you
matches.
talking about Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville? Yeah, because they got the same style of fighting, don't they?
It's
Yeah,
kind of
those two had an
similar.
interesting match.
Oh yeah, they can carry some matches.
Because
Um,
in the pre-show, Breezango defeats the Forgotten Sons, and then Jordan Miles defeats Cameron Grimes. I think Cameron Grimes is Trevor Lee. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Jordan Miles is
Is
ACH.
ACH.
Yeah. So I'm.
they
So
gave
yeah, those.
ACH a real
That,
name.
yeah, that was the tournament file of the NXT Breakout Tournament. So
Yeah. So those matches will be showing right now on NXT on the
okay, so
network.
those will be a couple matches I need to watch tonight when I watch the main event. Street Profits actually defeated the Undisputed Era, though. What do you guys think of the match?
Awesome.
It was good.
I mean, it showcased a lot, man, because it had everything. It had the action.
Mm-hmm.
It showed. I mean, it showed the. For me, it showed the individual abilities of both the Street Profits. I mean, because you already know what the Undisputed Era can do,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
but it showcased them a lot more. I mean, and it was a great back and forth match, like a lot of NXT matches. So, I mean, I'm not. A lot of times, I'm not surprised by the action in NXT, but I was surprised by the Street Profits because this is about only the second time that I actually, seen them in action, especially on a pay-per-view. I've seen them in that Fatal 4-Way last time, but as far as just a one-on-one tag team match, yeah, I I was thoroughly pleased with it, and I thought it was an A+ match.
See, I just thought the match was okay. Me personally,
Really.
yes. I've seen so much. I feel like the Street Profits held this match back. I feel like there was
Really?
good moments, but I've seen the Undisputed Era go against other teams and put on amazing, amazing matches. And
Mhm.
I just didn't feel that this was up to the caliber of the Undisputed Era's best matches. And so I know it's not the Undisputed Era. Thus,
Right.
process of elimination, Street
Mhm.
Profits. I just think the Street Profits are still very green. I felt like Angelo Dawkins kind of did the same thing, and it seems like Montez Ford is good at the high spots,
Right.
but the in between from going from high spot to high spot, he needs some work. That's just my opinion. And it's usually because the way my brain works is I compare it to everything else. So if I've seen it from the Undisputed Era, them doing great, 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 top caliber matches to this, then it was kind of a letdown for me.
Oh.
Me personally. But
Right.
they're the Street Profits are in NXT. They're still green. I remember when they were first coming out and everything, and I was watching episodes of NXT during that time, and I was like, yeah, they're green. The good
Mhm.
thing is that they're getting over on the main roster, and if they make it to the main roster, which they probably will, I mean, everything they're doing on the main roster indicates that they're coming, right? They'll be fine.
Eventually.
Yeah, they'll be fine on the main roster, right? It's kind of like when you see when people tell you, because a lot of people told me like back in the day, Charlotte wasn't even the best four horsewoman in NXT, but with the main product, she is the best of the four horsewomen. Like as far as everything she does, the way she carries matches, NXT and the official show have two different styles.
Yeah.
And so so the Street Profits will be
I know.
fine when they make it to the main roster. It's kind of like how Vince doesn't like the Viking Raiders, apparently, but when they're on NXT, their matches, for example, with the Undisputed Era, were amazing. You
Well,
know,
what I don't,
go ahead.
now you said Vince don't like the Viking Raiders. I
It
don't
was
mean
a
to.
rumor I read. What, the truth
Oh,
behind it, I don't know. But why is there not much going on with them other than squash matches? You know, well, of course, squash matches usually lead to a push whenever you're just
right.
squashing other opponents.
Yeah, it's building them up.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, I heard Vince is not a big fan, and I don't know how true or not true it is. I'm just telling you what I read.
It wouldn't, yeah, because to me it wouldn't make sense to bring him up if he's not a fan of them.
Yeah, I don't know, but obviously he's a fan of Street Profits because they have a lot of TV time on Raw.
Yeah. Well, Vince likes funny black people though.
Yeah.
Let's see. That
Shucking
seemed
and
to be one
jiving
of his
black people.
MO.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you're black and you're willing to shuck and jive, I got you back.
All true.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was your opinion of this match, Eugene?
I agree with you. I think it was okay. It was more so Undisputed Era than Street Profits, but it's really no complete fault to the Street Profits. Like you said, they are green. I think they are still developing a little bit more in regards to in-ring style. I did like one spot where I think it was Angelo Dawkins. Either he got hit really hard, or he sold really well on one of the knees that Kyle O'Reilly gave him, and that one like opened my eyes. I'm like, oh my god, that was a really good spot. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was a good opening match. Could have been better, but it wasn't terrible at all by any stretch of the word.
Okay. Next match. Oh, go ahead, Dion.
No, I'm just gonna say, well, if they green and looking like that, then the sky got to be the limit for them when they finally get it all together. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think
definitely.
that there's potential there. Montez Ford is a great athlete. I think Montez Ford needs to work on his in between stuff, and Angelo Dawkins just needs to have better moves.
Right.
And that jumping, spinning clothesline he did to the corner, he did it like way too many times. Like, get more moves.
Yeah.
Bro. And I forgot another move that he did where I was just kind of like, yeah, that's just not a very good move. And they also need more tag team moves. Like you're a tag team, so you need more tag team moves. Like tag in the 5-second count. Yeah, combination moves. They need.
I mean,
that.
they got that one. They got that one tag team where he like leapfrogs over him and like hits a backbreaker like maneuver.
Yeah. But I mean,
you need more.
Way more than that. And they did a double flapjack. True. I mean, they're doing generic tag team moves.
True.
Yeah.
You know, so they need to have something like that's their own style, like how the Undisputed Era has things that are their own style. You know, when you're playing the next WWE 2020 game or whatever, right? And you go to tag team moves for the Street Profits, they're going to be using the generic ones.
Well, I can give them one though. They can do a sling blade off the shoulders and stuff. You know, he's sitting on Homeboy's shoulder and he spring off the rope with sling blade and from the top.
Oh yeah, doesn't he do like a avalanche blockbuster?
Yeah, they did avalanche blockbuster, but you know, which is fine. I don't have a problem with the avalanche blockbuster, but I'm talking about just the regular tag. You know, like tag, like not a setup for one of your big finishing moves.
So, yeah, right. not a finisher, but like an actual
yes
2-man maneuver.
Yeah, I think they need to add some more of those too. Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
So the next one, go ahead.
No. We're going into Io Shirai in the game.
Yes, Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. Thoughts, impressions?
Okay.
I was really surprised how good that match was.
I thought it was a good match, but I was a little bit underwhelmed. I know, going opposite here, because to me it looked like Io Shirai carried most of the match. And the reason I say that is because, unless that was just in the early going, where it seemed like Candice LeRae, on some of her moves, it looked like her timing was off, or or technique was bad or something like that. And Io Shirai, because I was thinking about it during the match and even after that match, it's like, it seemed like she had to work a little harder just to sell the move to make it look at least logical, because to me, it just wasn't believable. until they kind of picked it up later on in the match. But overall, it was a decent match. But that's what I was thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, really, because as it was happening, I'm like, man, her timing is, man, it's like, okay, that wasn't crisp. I see she had to do a little more work to do this just to sell that move. And I mean, I saw that about 2 or 3 times, on different moves. So I'm like, but then but what sold it for me was the fact that she played the resilience role. I'm talking about Candice LeRae. No matter what Io Shirai was hitting her with, she kept on kicking out. The good storyline, fighting spirit thing, blah blah blah, and that gave Io Shirai a chance to really sell her, her frustration, her heel turn, and all that good stuff. But overall, they sold the match well, in spite of the stuff I'm talking about. So overall, I liked it. But
I'm gonna have to disagree with you and go with Eugene on this again. I felt the match was fantastic.
Do you?
Yes, I felt that for what these two women did, like the initial suplex off of the. I mean, there's a reason why guys respect Candice LeRae, like, out of most women in the business. Like, the indie scene, she's respected by the guys. She does hardcore matches against the guys. And I felt that this was the first time in NXT we got to see Candice LeRae take some crazy bumps. And
if I'm not mistaken, this is Candice LeRae's first, takeover match.
Yeah, I think it is. Because the only thing I've ever seen her do, because I don't watch NXT consistently, the only thing I've ever seen her do is run out there and get involved in this and that. I've never actually seen. I saw her match in the Mae Young Classic. I saw her fighting official matches in the Mae Young Classic. But and I mean, even like how and I'm surprised they didn't sell it. Does she have a new finisher other than the Wild Ride?
Not to my knowledge, but I mean,
because she gave Io Shirai the Wild Ride and Io Shirai kicked out. And they didn't.
That's the swinging neck breaker from the top.
Yeah, the swinging neck breaker from the avalanche swinging neck breaker. And I think they played into the fact that she hurt her neck too. And if that was the case, then that should have been one of those ones where she fell down and it took her a while to cover her, to protect the move. But I felt it made Io Shirai look like a real threat. That was just my opinion from when I was watching the match. I was very, very intrigued by the Candice LeRae Io Shirai match. Probably more so than any other match on the card, minus the main event, which I have yet to see. So, I'm gonna have to agree with Eugene. Is there anything that stood out in this match to you, Eugene?
Nothing more so than I feel like it didn't go longer than I anticipated to go. I thought they were just going to give it maybe a good 5 to 10 minutes and then move on to the next match. This actually got a little bit longer than I anticipated.
It lasted 15 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, so I mean, I was impressed. It was good to see Candice LeRae finally showcased in a takeover match, and then really blossoming Shirai in this heel role. And now it's making me really consider. I think you mentioned that it's going to take this type of Io Shirai to take out Shayna Baszler. So
exactly.
Okay. Now I'm starting to kind of get behind this wave. So this whole match did that for me.
And I agree. And I felt like it did not hurt Candice LeRae in any way. If anything, it welcomed her. This is almost like an official welcome to NXT for her. In my eyes, where it's like, okay, Candice LeRae's here. She's on a takeover, and this is what she can do. She'll take a suplex off of the announce table. She'll take this crazy bump. She'll take that crazy bump. So I feel like it, if anything, like you said, it showcased her well in what she does.
Yeah.
And then we had our interlude with what's his name again? Matt Riddle.
Matt
calling out Killian Dane. Served its purpose. I guess it's supposed to make people intrigued. So apparently Killian Dane has come back as a monster now, like an uncontrollable monster who's now not capable of getting beat, basically. He's like this unstoppable force monster, apparently.
Really?
I mean, he's been beating up Matt Riddle, who's like the golden boy right now of NXT.
He beat up the security guards on the stage.
Yeah. So I guess that Killian Dane, I guess coming back to NXT was the best thing that could have possibly ever happened to him. He's at least relevant.
Yeah.
You know?
Who was he before?
He was in Sanity, and Sanity was on SmackDown, and you probably saw
Okay.
Sanity one time ever on SmackDown.
Right. And they not there anymore.
No.
I'll take it.
No, they moved. Eric Young is a producer, even though I've seen Eric Young sometimes chase the TV title, or the 24/7 title, sorry.
Right.
And then
Alexander
Alexander
Wolf
Wolf is in NXT UK, and Killian Dane's back on NXT because Killian Dane's married to Nikki Cross. So I'm assuming that's
And then
why.
Nikki.
Actually, I ought to just call it the Comedy Hour title.
Oh yeah. And so I guess it served its purpose. Try to get people hyped between the match between those two, right? A big match, obviously, at the next takeover. Then we had the Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. Thoughts, opinions?
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
I think it was good. It almost had the same tone as the first match, the Street Profits and the Disputed Era. I think it was good. Maybe I would rate it higher than the opening match.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was good to see Pete Dunne back, at least in like the NXT, like US NXT instead of UK NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was still bummed out that I thought Roderick Strong was gonna walk away with the gold, but after Undisputed Era lost the tag title or lost that opportunity, I was like, yeah, maybe Velveteen might retain.
I'm gonna agree with you. I thought it was better than Street Profits. I thought that this was the first time where I've seen a match where Velveteen Dream was involved in, and that I was not blown away by. And because of that, I have to agree with you. And this is also Pete Dunne is in this match. You would think, like, the match on paper looks like this is going to be a match of the year candidate, right? And I also didn't like the fact that Pete Dunne took the fall. If Velveteen was going to retain, I'd rather it be Roderick Strong. Unless this is due to set up some type of story, I don't like Pete Dunne taking the fall, me personally.
I thought Roderick will probably take the fall.
Yeah, but, if it's going to add to the story, maybe they're going to continue the Roderick Strong Velveteen Dream, and, you say, I didn't even get pinned, and you can't call yourself legitimate champion. We all know how it goes.
That would make more sense to me because that's what it was supposed to be to begin with.
Yes.
And that explains
Pete Dunne.
Right. And that would explain why it wasn't as glaring as a regular Velveteen Dream match because he had to share with a third party. So you didn't get to see
Velveteen Dream, even in those, like the kickoff match for the North American title, there's 6 guys in that ring. And Velveteen Dream still shines. So Velveteen Dream knows how to shine with multiple people out there.
Right. But I'm saying in this match here, it had to be a little more showcasing for like Pete Dunne. You're not just gonna stick Pete Dunne in this match and then just have him look like just a C-level jobber. Just to be a third man, so he had to give some of his own shine to this match, as well as Matt Strong. Wait a minute, did I say it right? Roderick Strong, all right, and Velveteen. So it's most likely it's like he kind of backed off a little, to get a flow to the other 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even though you're saying that, it doesn't change my opinion of the match. The match was just,
Right. I'm just trying to put logic to it. That's all.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, by no stretch is it. I think it's like the match is good. Don't get me wrong, the match is really good.
Right.
I just didn't have the
It could have
same
been
effect.
better.
I didn't have the same effect from this match as I did when I saw Velveteen versus Ciampa for the NXT Championship a few months.
Exactly.
A few months back. Yeah, I didn't have the same reaction that I did with that match.
Yes. Even the Velveteen versus Gargano match, we won the North American title, was pretty good.
Exactly, yeah, that too.
And that was on regular TV. And, but that match was pretty good. Was that on TV? Yeah, that was on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was on TV.
Yeah.
When?
So, when he won the North American title.
I mean, how long ago was that?
It had to be maybe.
It was right after NXT did that tournament between the three brands, and the winner got a title shot. He used his title shot to go against Johnny Gargano. I mean, Velveteen Dream in that tournament had better matches than he did in this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's all I'm saying. It was just the problem was that we booked the match in our brain to be much better than what it was because we're used to these guys perform. They've set such a high expectation for themselves.
Yeah,
that
it's just
it's kind of our fault. They didn't live up to our expectations. But I guess
our fault. No, that's a justified booking, man.
So it is what it is. I mean, because it's just like, but what I'm meaning by that is I'm agreeing with Eugene when he said it's not like the match was terrible. It's just that
right. You expected better.
Exactly.
Like this was an off day for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good match is an off day for them.
Yeah, exactly.
A good match is an off day.
Like when we were talking about the AEW versus Double or Nothing, right?
Right.
It's a B, but on AEW standards, it's a B. You know, it's kind of like one of those.
Right.
So yeah.
They didn't meet its own bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because to me, this match on paper would have taken the show. Should have taken the show.
Should have.
And from what I've seen, what I saw, minus the pay-per-view, the Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae took the show for me.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Strong did his part. Because he was whooping that ass in that match, man.
Strong had some good moments. The backbreaker, the double backbreaker, the double Boston Crab. Things like that were really good. Like when he used Pete Dunne and threw him back first onto Velveteen Dream's back. Like that was pretty cool.
For a minute, I really thought he was going to walk away with that title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way he was going. So I'm like, damn, dude.
He just needs to work on it. He'll never work on his mic skills, which is why they threw him with Undisputed Era. So Adam Cole could talk for him. So, if you've been in the business this long and you're still that bad on the mic, it's not.
You just don't have it.
You don't have it. Yeah. Next we had. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you an offbeat question, but I can ask you that when we get to the WWE roster.
Okay. Shayna Baszler defeats Mia Yim. I predicted this. I think, was it you, D, that thought that Yim was going to walk away?
Well, yeah, it's because I have a crush on her.
Oh, okay.
Same. I thought Yim was going to win.
What was your opinion of the match itself?
It was... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Get it.
I was going to say, it was good. Like, if you want to compare it to the other matches, I'll say this was the worst match of the entire card, but still it was like without the other matches included, it was still a good match. I think it was okay seeing Mia Yim get some main event exposure, but other than that, it was just good. No more than that, no less than that.
D?
It was a little let down for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, it was just okay, because I've seen better matches from Baszler. I mean, they sold a story. As far as I'm concerned, they sold the story good. I like the contrast and style. The cheap shortcuts versus the submission wrestler stuff and all that. But I don't know, it just didn't. I mean, and like I said, they had a good match, but it just didn't. Yeah, it didn't give me that rise.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of bored during this match.
Yeah. It's like
I'm just being flat out honest. Like I was just kind of bored, and not only have I seen better from Shayna Baszler, I've seen better from Mia Yim. I mean, in Impact, she has some classics against Rosemary. The Red versus Blue saga was great. One of the best matches I've ever seen. It was when those two did their Monsters Ball match.
Yeah,
and even their cage match was really good. So, I was highly disappointed in this match. If I'm going to be 100% honest.
Yeah,
do you believe? Go ahead, D. Sorry.
I was say just chalk it up to an off night for them.
Yeah. What was your question, Eugene?
I was gonna say, do you think this match suffered in positioning of it too, since that it had three good to very good matches that had they had to follow up on?
No,
No, I don't. I
it
don't. I
it,
don't. I
it was
don't agree
just
with that.
it
I
was
think
just an
the
okay
Yeah, I
match.
think the biggest problem with this match was the Io Shirai Candice LeRae match was much better than this. So it had
Okay.
nothing to do with positioning. This match would have
Hmm.
had to have come on first or something. It would have had to have started the show where you're like, okay, this is just starting the show. But I
Warm up.
felt that if it started the show, that the time limit was like the fact that it went 14 minutes 35 seconds would have been too long for this match to start the show and try to capture the fascination of the crowd. Like it
Mhm.
would, or maybe a second match. But then the Street Profits would have had to do better for the first match. Like honestly, if you were to ask me, the Io Shirai match, Candice LeRae should have started the show, right? Because from what I'm hearing, because what you guys told me before we came live is that the Cole Gargano match, which we're going to get to in a second, was another classic. Thus, they should have started the show with the Io Shirai, uh, you know, match, Candice LeRae, to get everybody hyped about NXT. But then I guess after that, it would be a huge letdown from that point forward, leading up to the main event. So I don't know. I don't know how I would have booked this card to capture the interest because WWE seems to do it by the I guess the parabola, right? Where they like to start high, drag down, drag down, drag down, end high, right?
Hmm.
That's how WWE likes to do it. Or every now and then in between. Now sometimes it gets messed up because those stars on the thing are like, no, we're gonna put on a good match. But that just always seems to be how WWE works their stuff, right? Versus like I've been hearing other people where they're saying it's actually supposed to constantly get better. It's supposed to constantly get better. And if that's
Right.
the case, then this match just opened the show. And then you go to the Street Profits, then you go to the North American title, then you go to the Io Shirai Candice LeRae, then you go to the Adam Cole Gargano. And the reason why that would have been okay is because you can open the show with a title match, right? So I guess if
Yeah.
you were to ask me, that would have been my order for NXT Takeover. I think that would have built up the most hype if you guys are telling me the Cole Gargano match was better than Shirai LeRae. So that would have been my
Definitely.
Mm,
my thing.
in my opinion, it was better than the Shirai and Lorray.
Okay. So let's go to
Really, this
Cole
match?
Gargano.
Wait. Which
Yeah.
which match were you saying was better than the Shirai match?
The
Cole
the
Gargano.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought you were saying the Yim and the Yim and
Oh
Baszler
no
match.
no no
the
no!
who
I
match?
would not have let him. I
The
would
the
not have
Shayna match.
let him get away with that statement. Even though
Who
this would be one of those cases where your opinion is just flat out wrong.
who you thought I said?
Yim
I
versus
thought you were
Baszler
saying
was
the
better
Shayna
than
match.
Shirai and LeRae.
Oh no, man. It was
we
actually
would have to
work.
question his.
Look, even though I got my criticisms of the Shirai match, no, they no, I wouldn't do that to them. Like I
Yeah.
said, they picked it up later on for me. Like I said, but it was just some little nitpicking I was doing during that match.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But Baszler and Yum, like I said, it was just an okay match. It was more of a letdown match because I expected so
Oh
much
yeah.
out of those two. And considering they worked together before,
Mm-hmm.
even before they got to the NXT and WWE and all that mess. So, it,
So,
but
so then what
no,
about Cole
I,
Gargano? I'm gonna have to leave that to you two guys
A-
because I didn't see it
AJ,
yet.
AJ, could I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you give me just 5 minutes? I need to step away just for something real
Sure.
quick. Just 5 minutes. You can continue with the Gargano Cole match. I'll be back in just five
Okay,
minutes.
so
Give me 5
D,
minutes.
all right,
impressions of the Cole Gargano match. I've yet to see it. I'm
excellent.
expecting greatness from this because of their
Well,
previous 2 out of 3's fall match. So I'm personally expecting greatness, and I'm sure that they lived up to it from the word that just came out of your mouth. Excellent.
What I was about to say, before we came on the air, is normally I can't stand 2 out of 3 falls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I just like the one fall and go on about your business and get on with your life. But these guys make all 3 falls interesting, and what I love about because they're already great performers. They sell the match. Even if you've seen them do it before, you don't get tired of seeing them do it again. So apparently the way this was set up, unbeknownst to me until the match actually happened, they had a stipulation for each fall.
Yeah, I found that out. I saw the intro, and I turned it off like right when the match started, and so yeah, there was a stipulation. What were the 3 stipulations?
Okay, now I believe on that first fall, or the first match, it was supposed to be not submission, but a wrestling match, technical stuff, right? Just technical stuff. No, just a basic classic match.
Oh, so you're saying like no striking, but grappling and things like that, or what?
No, they had striking, but I'm talking about it was supposed to be a clean match.
Got it.
None of that regular stuff that they normally do.
Yeah.
And and like I said, they did it well for a while, and I like the way, at least in the storytelling, I like the way Adam Cole won the match, and he won it on disqualification, and that was a disqualification purposely done by Gargano, because the next fall was going to be a street fight. Anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
And what had happened when Gargano got frustrated with him, he took a chair to him, man. He didn't care if he lost the match. He just wanted to hurry up and get to the street fight so he could start whooping his ass, which he did successfully.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean he just decided he was tempted during the match. You could see the frustration. You could see how he was holding himself back. But he kept on going with the match, and both of them, neither one could get the advantage on the other. But at the end, after I think I'm trying to remember, after some shady crap by Adam Cole, as usual, Gargano just let loose on him. I mean, while he popped him, he just waited. He just waited for the ref to ring the bell so he can just wail on him with the chair, man. It was so freaking awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you love it. I'm gonna tell you, the storytelling was great because what it was doing was showing a sadistic side of Gargano.
He's had a sadistic side, but he had his little heel run.
Huh?
Yeah, we're here, Eugene. He was explaining to me the 2 out of 3 falls. He told me how the first one ended with Gargano giving Cole a chair shot just so he can get to the street fight. So Cole won by disqualification. And he basically said that it showed the sadistic. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do, Dion. I'm going to challenge you to go to the previous takeovers and watch the 3 matches between Gargano and Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to see a sadistic side of Johnny Gargano, probably done. Now, have you seen these matches, Eugene? The Ciampa Gargano series?
God, those were like the cherry on top of a good year.
So, do you think that because he's saying that what he did in the street fight against Adam Cole is like a sadistic side of Gargano? I have a hard time believing. I do think that Gargano and Cole have very good chemistry. Like, and if you were to say, here's a wrestling match, boom, right? Go do a wrestling match. I think that they could probably do that better than Ciampa and Gargano. But Eugene, since you've seen those previous Gargano Ciampas, do you think their street fight, Cole and Gargano street fight, is better than Ciampa Gargano street fights?
No, because there's definitely more there's more of a personal and very brutal aspect to the Gargano Ciampa street fights. And as far as him being like what was the word y'all were saying? He was being
sadistic.
He was being sadistic. As far as him being sadistic in this match, I wouldn't say he was sadistic. I would just say he was. I think the first fall he was a little bit more. I guess careless. Well, no, not even careless. I guess
frustrated.
Yeah, frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word.
Well, that's what I
Yeah,
was saying. I was saying that's where, to me, he was showing more of a sadistic side when it got to the point where he just didn't give a damn,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
he
He
just
just
wanted
hits him with the chair,
pow.
and he's like,
He
"It's
didn't,
on to the next fall." He didn't care.
yeah, because it was going to be his kind of match. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dion, your
yes, sir.
homework. Find the Gargano Ciampa matches. You know in
Okay,
NXT, you know in the WWE
I'm
app, you could
gonna
type
tell you
up.
what. I've seen one of them.
Which one?
With Gargano and Ciampa, because I remember I didn't know who they were. All I remember it was something about Ciampa had turned on Gargano for the world title or something like that,
So,
and then
well,
Gargano was getting his revenge, and it was after the whole pay-per-view. It was like an unsanctioned match or something.
yes, the
Well,
unsanctioned
Oh,
match.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't know who they were, but I know they were just trying to kill each other in that match.
Mm.
But it's just been a while, so
Yeah, I
I
challenge
have
you
to
to go
look at
back
that
and
one
watch
again.
all three of those because those are match of the year caliber matches.
Uh-huh.
Ciampa Gargano matches are match of the year caliber. Like those are the Ciampa and Gargano's best matches are against each other,
And
Uh-huh.
it's
and
and
those
it's
two have a
saying
lot
something.
of great matches. You know.
I was gonna say it's saying something when they're not like I think it was last year. None of them were champions, but they
Mm,
were the main event. They were the last
Yes.
match on the card.
yeah.
So it's saying something when they're ahead of the champions at a takeover match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says plenty, man. Meaning that belt don't mean squat compared to what you got to
Yeah.
bring,
Yeah,
man.
what they're about to bring out, and they
That,
brought it. The crazy thing
all,
is, they brought it. You know.
that,
They
that,
brought it.
that belt wouldn't do nothing but just weigh you down, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm talking about the match. I'm talking about back when Tommaso Ciampa first turned heel, and he didn't even have theme music. He
Right.
just
Oh
walked
yeah, he
out to
just
the black
walked out,
screen, and I was like, yes, this is perfect. I actually
and
wish
everyone's
Ciampa went
chanting.
back to that. No Titantron, no nothing. Just walk out there, and they
And then you,
booed him. It was the booing was to the level of when Cena came out to
Cena.
Chicago the against CM
Against
Punk
CM Punk?
that
Yeah.
we talked about a couple weeks ago, the ladder match, not the ladder match, the Money in the Bank match, when Cena came out to face CM Punk, where CM Punk takes the title and walks away from the company with the title and puts it in his fridge. The level of boos, I don't know. Ciampa may have gotten more boos than that. When he came out, it was beyond nuclear heat. I mean,
do
we're
you,
talking about hydrogen bomb level heat. It was crazy.
And some of them boos was probably coming from the parking lot,
I mean, it was
not just the people
so
in the arena.
crazy. It was.
AJ,
Go ahead.
would you say that those boos? Well, would you say the boos that Roman Reigns got the night after the Mania he beat the Undertaker, where they drowned him in boos? Do you think it was comparable to that, or do you think it's?
I think if you had a
that
bigger arena like Roman Reigns had, yes.
Okay.
Ciampa, because remember, there's a difference between Ciampa and Roman. There's still a lot of people who like Roman Reigns even at that time because now they're just now starting to do the Roman sucks start. It's getting louder and louder again. It's like, all right, he's in remission from cancer for 6 months now. Let's go and start hating him again, you know. But so you're starting to hear it a bit more these days. But the level of booze that everybody in that damn building was booing Ciampa. Everybody in that damn building was booing Ciampa, and I'm a Tommaso Ciampa. He's probably my favorite person in NXT, so I like Tommaso Ciampa. But it was just crazy to see everybody in that building booing him. But yeah, so it was insanity. But then they delivered. So you're getting this nuclear heat, and then you deliver it. It's not like the Baron Corbin nuclear heat. And because I think the time when Baron Corbin was getting nuclear heat, when he was general manager, that was good nuclear heat. Since then, it hasn't been good nuclear heat. It's like, why is this guy in this match? You know, when he was general manager, you didn't care because I'm general manager. I can put myself in this match. But now that he's not general manager, like how is he in this match? And when he was going against Seth Rollins 3 straight pay-per-views, where you're like, why is Baron Corbin getting an extended program for the Universal Championship? Like, that doesn't make
Hey,
any
give me a
sense.
minute, Jay. I gotta step out for a second.
Yeah. So, well, what was your opinion on the overall match, Eugene? And then you can probably, I guess, lay out the third fall since we talked about the first two.
Oh, for Gargano
Yes.
Cole. Okay, so overall, it was a classic match. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very spectacular match. I think if anything, this match compared to their other matches they've had before was very more spot heavy,
Okay.
especially being that it was
Well, it had two gimmick matches involved, so.
yeah, it had two gimmick matches. So on to the second fall. The second fall was a street fight. That match went all throughout, and I think there was a point where it was either Gargano or Cole brought out tables with the intent of using it. No one used it, but Gargano took the second fall. I'm trying to remember like if there was anything like uh, memorable in that fall, because more so the classical parts was the third fall, which ends up being a cage match.
Yes.
It's actually a barbed wire cage match with weapons all surrounding.
Oh wow, I didn't know that because
Yes.
I know that they sold it in the beginning because I watched the intro and they're like, yeah, they sold it in the beginning to where William Regal was praying that it didn't make it to the third fall. He was hoping that the winner would be decided in the first two because he didn't want to see the third fall. So I did not know that. So wow.
Yeah. So I mean, all I'll say because I really want you to see this match with like a clean slate, but it's a cage match with barbed wire covered, and they made the rule it's only pinfall and submission to win that fall. No escaping the cage to the door. No escaping the cage by forcefully going over the barbed wire. No escape. You have to win by pinfall or submission, and that's where more so the spot heavy moments occurred in that match.
So I'm looking forward to this. So I'm reading here, there was a stipulation for each fall. This first stipulation was chosen by Adam Cole, the second stipulation was chosen by Gargano, and the third was chosen by Regal. But I think Regal chose it, but I think they said something like he was hoping it didn't make it to it.
Yeah, I think they were building up like he wished that, or yeah, something along the lines of they hope or he hopes it doesn't go to a third fall, but
If
ultimately
it does, we're
it
going to
did.
have a clear winner between this feud, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a very spot heavy match. Still really good, very classic match, and a great way to end Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
You already know the result, right?
Yeah,
or do you know the result?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So did you hear about what happened after in regards to like the fans kind of gave a standing O to Gargano?
And I know Regal came out and hugged him, but I did hear like they almost made it feel like it was a send away. But I did hear that he's not leaving.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Like, do you think that's a send away? Because like,
well, I heard that it's not, which is confusing to people.
Yeah,
because that's usually what
do?
you do for a send away. But I heard that it's not. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, he didn't come out at SummerSlam, the week after SummerSlam. So maybe it's not.
I'm not gonna lie. There was one point. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but there was a match on Raw where I think it was the Revival versus Lucha House Party. I honestly thought DIY was gonna come out and like challenge the Revival after that match or something like that.
Well, I heard that Gargano was going to NXT. Ciampa's coming back to NXT. That's why I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, because when Ciampa was saying I'm going after the NXT Championship, so I think they're setting up Cole or Ciampa, but Ciampa will be kind of a face. So how is he gonna still be the Black Heart, but a face? I don't know. We'll find out if he could do it. Everybody knows I love heels. So I'd rather him be a heel, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, if you're saying you heard that this isn't a send off, maybe they make it look like a send off, and then like as soon as he says he's like leaving NXT, Ciampa comes out and like they renew the rivalry again, perhaps.
Sure, but I think they're setting up Ciampa Cole.
Ciampa. Ooh, yeah Ciampa.
I think that's what they're setting up because we have yet to see Ciampa Cole.
Or they could do triple threat.
They could do a triple threat, but I think this is one of those where I want to see those two go at it first, and then maybe do a triple threat between them after that. But I would like to see those two in a one-on-one. You know, I think that would be interesting. I think the NXT crowd would love it, and then, man, you could send them all off on a triple threat against each other. You know, that's if you want to send them all off. Yeah, those three end it, because right now they're them along with Velveteen are the three biggest names in NXT, or four biggest names in NXT, right? So that'd be a good way to end this era of NXT. Is at the NXT Takeover WrestleMania, what they end up doing by then, they can lead up to a fatal four-way, and then maybe Riddle gets involved, or whoever they expect to carry the mantle of NXT when these guys are gone.
Yeah. I keep
That'd be
forgetting like there's still Riddle.
I'm not a Riddle guy, but I understand that right now he's big in NXT, so what can I say? So I'm hoping a lot of these guys from the NXT breakout star get a good push up to the top to where, you know, they can legitimately do it. That'd be great.
I'm really hoping Keith Lee like gets a push sometime soon.
Yeah,
hopefully,
they've been
like
talking
for North
about
American
it.
Championship.
They've been talking about it, but he's not even on the takeover. So what do you do?
Yeah.
So why don't we move on to old SummerSlam? The old SummerSlam. So this is interesting. Like that. So the opening segment talks about the King of the Ring tournament coming back. Now, here's what I did not know about the King of the Ring. All 16 entrants. So the Raw...
Oh, yeah, they announced the 16 entrants.
Yes. The Miz, Ricochet, Baron Corbin, I guess it's coming back to TV, Cesaro, Drew McIntyre, Cedric Alexander, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe. SmackDown contestants, Ali, Andrade, Chad Gable, Apollo Crews, Elias, Kevin Owens, Shelton Benjamin, Buddy Murphy. So... First, before we get into this, what is y'all's opinion of the King of the Ring coming back?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it was good. It's a nice concept.
It's because it's a give a chance for somebody to get a deserved push.
I feel if they turn it into a gimmick of some type, it is worth it. Like now, nobody. Let me, before I get to this. Best King of the Ring. Who is the best King of the Ring of all time?
The best?
Yes.
I think you gotta go with the OG, Harley Race.
You guys are going with Harley Race? What about you? D.
King Booker.
I'm gonna go with King
Booker.
Oh my
god. I forgot about
King Booker. Was one of the greatest created characters. And then it turned into a legit champion push. It was hilarious week to week on SmackDown.
I love King Booker.
During a bad time of wrestling, I would still tune in to SmackDown to watch King Booker. Everything else that was going on in wrestling at the time was really stale.
He just took it to a new level.
And then the segments with Crime Time and everything like that. Character, like those were hilarious. Those were some of Booker T's best moments. Like
he broke out of his
career.
Broke out of his medieval accent.
Yes, it was so good. And I would say number 2 for me, Macho Man Randy Savage. I remember when Macho Man was the King of the Ring and he was carrying the scepter and everything. Like, I actually remember that. That's just my personal opinion. If you had to go down to, and it's because I don't remember much of the Harley Race stuff. I was probably too young, and when Harley Race was there.
That just came first off I had, just because with what happened with Harley and whatnot.
So I don't know how good of a King of the Ring that he was or whatever, but I remember like Macho Man really embracing the King of the Ring character and everything. So I thought that was, and usually the winner does. Stone Cold, of course, didn't. But
but he did have the promo.
Yeah, but it starts Austin 316. So
yeah.
Here's question 2: who out of those 16 contestants should win the King of the Ring?
I feel like this is. I feel like this is Drew McIntyre's tournament to win. But if, like you mentioned, if this is going to be made as a gimmick, I hate to say it,
or a push. This could give somebody a push that they need.
I hate to say it, imagine how annoying it is to
For
hear
Baron
King
Corbin.
Corbin. Exactly.
See, no.
Imagine how annoying
When
that
I
will
see
be.
these 16 names, the first name that sticks out to me that should win is Baron Corbin. So
Yeah.
so everything
Yeah.
that you're saying, I'm 100% on board with. And to me, that would bring back the authentic nuclear heat that he
Uh-huh.
had when he was the
General.
commissioner, general
Yeah,
manager,
Commissioner.
or whatever he was.
Yeah.
That would bring back the well-deserved nuclear heat that Baron Corbin gets. And so for me, the first name I see on this list that sticks out to me is Baron Corbin. But there's another name
Yeah.
that I think could benefit from this. And for me, it's Buddy Murphy
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
as a
Yeah,
dark
'cause-
horse.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the match that Buddy Murphy put on with Roman Reigns, wow.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. We will get to that later. So, but those are the two that I'm seeing that if I had to choose, who's going to win King of the Ring? Number one, Baron Corbin. And there's a big gap between Baron Corbin and Buddy Murphy. But if I had to choose a second, it's Buddy Murphy. Because I would like to see Baron Corbin return to the nuclear heat level. Where it's deserved nuclear heat. And I think King of the Ring is a great pedestal. And then if he would have won King of the Ring and then had his title shots against Seth Rollins, I would have been okay with it. Because he brought back that authentic nuclear heat. So, in my opinion, Baron Corbin number one.
Yeah. That
So let's go to SummerSlam. Pre-card, Drew Gulak defeated Oney Larkin. Didn't watch it.
makes
Buddy Murphy defeated Apollo Crews by disqualification. I saw that when Rowan came in and destroyed Buddy Murphy. So that was.
Well, no, he didn't. Well, that was. I think that ended in a no contest.
No, I'm reading the results straight off of the results page. It's considered he wins because.
Because he touched him first.
Exactly. He hit Apollo Crews' opponent. So but that turned out to be interesting with the Rowan thing, and of course we're getting to that later for the stuff this week. Bliss and Nikki Cross defeated the Iconics. I didn't think the match was anything special, so
It wasn't.
that. The only good thing was the Buzz Lightyear thing that Alexa Bliss did, and then Corey Graves' reaction to it. Then his follow up to it on Raw was just Corey Graves being Corey Graves.
Gotta love Corey Graves, man.
Yes, and so the match opens with Becky Lynch. The SummerSlam official opens with Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Opinions, thoughts? What you guys got on that?
Oh, actually, that was a pretty good match in my opinion for what it was worth. I hated that. Well, I ain't gonna say I hated, but I was a little bit disappointed that Natty didn't win the title.
Oh yeah, because you said she was gonna win, right? You called Nat a natty victory.
Yeah,
Yes,
because she was gonna use the power of Canada, to undo Becky Lynch. Well, this version of Natty.
Mm-hmm. Which is a great version of Natty, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all for naught.
Mm-hmm.
She still tapped out, even with all that training. She still tapped out to the armbar.
I did like though that they sold they both had like a limb target where it was needed for them to hit their finishers. So I think it was Becky's arm and Natty's legs or something like that. That was good storytelling, and overall, yeah, pretty okay match. Okay to good match.
Using each other's moves, I like that.
Oh yeah, that too.
I actually like this match a lot. I felt that right from the gate, they both had a lot of intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the gate, they looked like they were actually doing this is, to me, this is probably the best wrestling I've seen Becky Lynch do. I'm not gonna say this is the best wrestling I've seen Natty do. I think this might be the best wrestling I've seen Becky Lynch do, to where I respect her a bit more as a wrestler versus just a character. Because the Becky Lynch character is weird to me right now because it doesn't have a real spot. It's all over the place.
Well, she's got a hit list now.
Sure, but I forgot who it was that even mentioned her character being all over the place. They did it on the show. Who was it that said it? Oh, it was Sami Zayn.
Uh-huh.
Remember when Sami Zayn when he was talking about Joe? but before
Right.
that he got to Becky Lynch, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, Sami Zayn, who I'm a heel, Sami Zayn is great. He's amazing. and the thing is, it's like, man, everything this guy's speaking right now is like the thoughts that are going on in my brain, like perfect. That somebody is out there. Maybe he's the one person who's watching live right now, is out there saying the same thing that I am.
He's channeling his J-Murph.
Yeah, right? So,
yeah, well, you know what? At least his character's better than... Well, at least his promos is better than that stupid electric chair failure that they had at the time on Raw.
The one and only time they had it?
Yeah, and thank goodness, or thank badness, however you want to put it.
So yeah, I thought it was a strong match. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed the match, and it was a great opening match. You want to talk about a great opening match?
Oh yeah, good opening.
This was
very good.
Great opening match, where it set the mood, and you remember I had high expectations coming into this pay-per-view for the first time in a long time, and when I saw this match open, I was like, wow, I was like. We WWE might actually live up to my expectations on a regular card pay-per-view.
Well, was the pay-per-view overall everything you dreamed of?
Yes.
Or just...
Yes.
Okay, because I forgot to mention that the TakeOver Toronto was an A+ pay-per-view overall.
Okay. And here's the thing. You remember when we did Extreme Rules, where we were shocked by Extreme Rules? We were actually pleasantly surprised by Extreme Rules.
Right.
To me, this pay-per-view holistically, this has been the best pay-per-view I've seen this year for WWE. If you had to say, within the past year, this has been the best one that I've seen. So...
no argument.
And my expectations for it were higher than most. And it met my expectations.
And
because the card looked interesting.
And it surprised me that even before the pay-per-view, you were actually a bit excited about seeing the pay-per-view. About it coming up. I mean, I'm like, Jay? Really? Wow, man.
Well, they did a good job of building up everything in the previous week. Like, that last week left you thirsting for more with the pay-per-view.
They're getting their mojo back.
Delivered. And then the week after it, the follow-up was great, where it's like, man, do you mean to tell me there was a build-up for a pay-per-view, then the pay-per-view happened, and the next week's the results of the pay-per-views matter on the show? Like, what? We haven't seen this in so long in WWE, right?
Yeah.
So I was very, very pleasantly surprised that they met my expectations.
Well, let me ask you an offbeat question. Speaking of pay-per-views and all that good stuff, I thought there was supposed to be some kind of build-up for the Undertaker and Drew McIntyre after they.
Yeah, I heard that was I heard that was really going to be more of a WrestleMania match when it was first announced.
So they
I think it's going to come later, but I think they're going to have a long build-up to WrestleMania between those two.
If anything, it maybe be Royal Rumble time.
So what I think is that's going to be Drew McIntyre's breakout time. Is when he goes one against the Undertaker. So that's why I don't think he needs the King of the Ring. If you're going against the Undertaker in 2020, that's your breakout time.
I just feel like by the end of this year, they need to start pushing guys that they only been teasing, like basically letting go to waste, like Drew McIntyre, in my opinion, because he's one of the greatest heels you got going, and you're doing nothing with him.
It's very friendly for the faces right now. It's very face friendly in WWE, and that's usually the stale time. So I'm kind of surprised that I enjoyed this pay-per-view, even though it's very face friendly right now. But I did. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I mean,
they need to do something with Elias.
Of course.
I mean, they're wasting them. I mean, these are guys that I want to see start getting a real momentum come toward 2020.
Elias should have held the Intercontinental title or United States title by now.
Yeah.
Is he a main event caliber guy? Maybe not. Is he Intercontinental title? Yes.
Does he need a belt to be relevant? No.
No.
But
would you care to? Would it bother you if Elias was the Intercontinental champion? No. It's perfect for him.
He need to be rewarded.
Exactly.
In my opinion,
I agree.
You don't need the belt, but it'd be good to have him because he because I think he could hold. I think he could carry a belt.
I do too. I think it would make his promos even better.
Mm-hmm.
His promos would be even better because he would always talk about being a champion while he's doing his promos. You know, the songs and everything. So it would just make that whole character arc better. So does he need a belt? Yes, I think he does. I disagree with you because I think it'll make his promos better. It'll make the character of Elias better. And Elias to me is already great. But and what do I always say about the United States title, Intercontinental title?
I said need a belt to be relevant.
No, okay, not to be relevant. No, you're right. Now, and what do I always tell you guys, or I know you know this for sure, D. I don't know if you remember, but what do I always say about the IC title and the United States title? They don't really mean anything, right? Now that they have the Universal title and the WWE Championship, to me they don't really mean anything because one of those belts is now really the Intercontinental belt of old because, especially now that there's crossovers on both shows all the time. Right. So, no, but I think it would just give the character of Elias songs and things like that, ideas that I think would be hilarious. So, you know, he could say, use the show that how good he is, how much better he is than you, and all that stuff. So,
I'll tell you what it'll really do for him. It'll make his matches meaningful.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's just doing spot matches because he's doing dirty work or putting somebody over for the time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He carried that belt. That, it's going to make his match mean something. Yeah. Because he's going to fight to hold on to that. Along with his promos and all that good stuff. So that's what I think it would do for him. And it'll bring prestige to that belt because anybody going to come out and try to challenge him for him messing over his promos and all that. Like the classic handiwork of Ricochet. We'll get on that later.
So next we had the Goldberg Dolph Ziggler match, squash match. Of course,
the night.
We all knew it was gonna be a squash match, but they made it super interesting. They made it super interesting when Dolph Ziggler calls back Goldberg.
Yeah, I was like, somebody.
All credit to Dolph Ziggler on that.
All credit to Dolph Ziggler. And then the last spear where Goldberg pats him on the back first, that was just hilarious. Where he pats him on the back and double runs the ropes and then spears him and Dolph Ziggler does a full backflip for it.
I'm going to tell you, Dolph did a masterful job selling all of those spears, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, because when he hit him, it looked like it just meant so much.
Yeah, because Dolph Ziggler does like a backflip, then gets up and falls down again, like some people used to do with the stunner. Like crazy stuff like that on that last one.
Yeah, he put some Shawn Michaels to it.
Yeah, so
Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan.
Oh man, wasn't that just pitiful?
But Shawn Michaels did that on purpose.
I know
how ridiculous this big boot is.
Yeah, well, he was because he was pissed at Hogan. No, well, you know the story.
Yeah.
He was pissed at him, so he just oversold all his moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, somebody please just shut his mic off.
Yeah, I mean, that was.
He ain't gonna make it to Raw.
That was so that was great. Next week, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think like this kind of like this erases at least temporarily like what happened at Super Showdown?
The what about me stuff? Oh, for Goldberg.
No. I'm talking for Goldberg.
For Goldberg, yeah, I do. I do. I mean, if Goldberg were to say I'm done, at least he redeemed himself from that the Super Showdown.
Yeah, like I said, I think he was just a victim of that doggone that Arabian heat over there.
Yeah.
And he
he just concussion is a big deal too. When you get a concussion, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
So and then so yeah, I do, and I also think this validates Ziggler's. What about me? Like, at least that's over, and now Ziggler is just I don't know what they're gonna do with this losing streak with him. I guess we'll have to stay,
I'm about to add.
Tuned. We'll have to stay tuned to figure out.
Well, I hate for him to go scrub like this because Ziggler's still a hell of a competitor.
And Ziggler is great talent.
He can hold. Mm-hmm. He can hold any match, but I don't want him just to keep on losing and scrubbing like this unless they got some kind of big angle they're working for him down the road.
Hopefully, it's like one of those things they don't forget about. Because that's the problem. The problem with them is they have so many things going on, they forget about things that they were doing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest problem with WWE. It's like they don't keep tabs on everything we're doing. Like we were talking about last week, how the Ali promos, and then he comes back with a big win against Nakamura. Then he's gonna lose. Like huh? It's like they don't even keep tabs on what they're doing. What do you guys think about the next match, the AJ Styles with Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows defeating Ricochet?
That was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very forgettable. I didn't like the injuring Ricochet's leg. It gave Ricochet those one-legged spots, but I also felt it took away from the match.
Yes,
like we're gonna have this spot where he's gonna do this move off of one leg. Okay, cool. But then it takes away from the rest of the match just so you guys can do the spot.
Let's be realistic here. This whole Ricochet AJ Styles feud has been a letdown.
Oh, because what did I say? Remember when we were picking last week for who's going to win this match? Remember my answer?
These guys are supposed to be putting on show-stealing match of the year matches. Caliber matches. The past and the present, or old and new, or whatever you want to call it. And it's just so watered down. It's like basically they just living off their reputation.
It's mediocrity at its finest.
Unfiltered mediocrity.
Do you remember my answer for choosing this match last week when we said who was going to win?
Yeah, you weren't interested or something.
I said I'm not going to give an answer because I really don't care because I have zero interest. And I think that I won.
Well,
I think that I won.
You cashed in on that one.
Because now you're saying the same thing.
Yeah, you cashed your chips in on it. Well, I was waiting to prove wrong on this. Well, I was hoping they would. I thought they would, like really cut it loose in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-view and all that. One of the big 4 pay-per-views and man,
second biggest pay-per-view. One of the big 4, the second biggest. No.
I think Ricochet was limited by that outfit.
But they wore it on Raw, and he's going back to Raw. It was crazy high flying. I like the Ricochet Nightwing, actually. I like the suit.
Yeah.
I do.
But that must have been hell, wrestling in that.
Scuba diving suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Surprised he didn't have a heat stroke in that thing.
I know.
He must have breathing holes in that suit.
Luckily he's in Canada, they're far north, so it's not as hot as it's down here. So next we had Bayley defeating Ember Moon. Huh.
Yeah, that was a meh match.
And to me, it was because of Bayley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that one.
Ember Moon had nice spots.
Right. I've seen her do better matches.
Yeah, I can't get into a Bayley match. Like, even when people are like, oh, you haven't seen the Bayley versus Sasha Banks Iron Woman match? That's one of the greatest women's matches of all time. Like,
but that was during NXT, though.
I watched it, and I was still like, huh. It's Bayley. Like, I just can't get into the Bayley character. Bayley's wrestling does nothing for me. I don't know.
I feel I would put the match they had at TakeOver Brooklyn over their Iron Man. So
okay.
I would put that one as the top one. I would say that's the match you want to see if you want to at least be invested in Bayley.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll try to give it a shot. I don't know if I will, but I think I have so much bias against Bayley, I don't think it would change my mind.
Is it that side ponytail?
That's everything about Bayley. The character work is god awful. It is the most stale character.
The promo is stale.
The talking, the wrestling, there's nothing about Bayley that makes me say, man, I really would like to see this character have a good match. Like, even people are talking about a heel turn by Bayley would be interesting. I don't know, because she would still have to cut promos.
Right.
She still wrestle. And there's nothing she does that really makes me say this is.
She got to be able to add some. She got to be able to add some to her promo attitude. I mean.
Yeah, there's. I don't know. I'd have to see to believe. It's one of those.
Take the ponytail out.
Yeah, the ponytail's got to go. The side ponytail, it's just got to go. It just looks weird.
Change her music.
Oh God.
Get rid of them belly buddies.
Yeah.
Have some damn skull and crossbones pop up. Something. Barking dogs, anything.
I don't know what they could do. I just don't like the character.
I mean, she would have to flip the script completely. Especially if she
Sure,
go.
she'd have to flip the script, and she'd have to add. You said get more attitude. She'd have to actually get more attitude in the ring as well. Like her moves would have to have more attitude. Because it just to me, Bailey, and to me, her finisher, the Bailey to belly, is such a weak finisher too. Like there's nothing that Bailey does that makes you say, "Man, this is really solid." You know.
At least if
like
she
the
had
sunset power bomb into the turnbuckle.
you would think at least if she had a big belly, you know, and she gave you the Bailey to belly, you can understand the move at that point, you know, like a big beer gut or something. But nah, that's kind of like losing to a drop kick, you know.
Exactly.
Tapping out to a headlock, you know. Come on, Eugene, get some of this here, man. You know you want some of this Bailey.
I mean, I think my only gripe, like I'm a Bailey fan, but my only gripe, if I had to, you know, really nitpick something, would be the promo. I'm okay, like I'm not over the moon for her wrestling abilities and whatnot or her character, but they're at least tolerable. Like I don't mind it,
Okay.
but it's like
it's intolerable.
But it's tolerable. It's like I'm not gonna like disown her for that, but like I would really much rather have her have a better my capability.
That's a hell of an evaluation. That's tolerable.
It's tolerable.
So Ed, I can correct or I can make your statement fit me by adding 2 letters to that.
What's that?
I-N. Or is it
intolerable?
Intolerable.
Yeah.
Intolerable.
Yeah, Bailey is intolerable.
So. She's like me say, well, she's good for the environment.
Yeah. So I think
she's biodegradable.
Honestly, we can move on.
She's biodegradable.
Yeah, we can move on from that.
Okay.
I didn't mind the finish. Like if she did the avalanche Bailey to belly for a finisher, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You know, okay, she did an avalanche Bailey to belly. Okay, makes sense to me. Like that can pin somebody.
Yeah.
So if her finisher was always the avalanche Bailey to belly, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. At least,
you know,
at least you can remove the N.
Yeah, I do like her sunset bomb into the corner. I do like that. Oh, excuse me, her sunset bomb into the corner. I do like that.
Okay.
So
now
moves.
Yeah. What's next on the card?
Kevin Owens defeating Shane McMahon. I don't even think I watched much of this match. I actually did see the whole match, but I had very little interest in it. And
I just know a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So who you think won that match?
I mean, obviously Kevin Owens won it, but what do you mean by that? He
was gonna quit if he didn't win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He was really going. Yeah. AEW bound, I guess. No.
Yeah. It was just way too predictable, and it was just more for developing story. So I don't even want to give it his credit because it doesn't deserve any. Because it's just just a story that I'm not interested in. Mainly because I don't like the face Kevin Owens personally. And I have to save something for when we get to SmackDown. I have to save it because it really bothered me. And I don't know if you guys know it, but when we get to SmackDown, I'll explain it. Charlotte Flair, Trish Stratus. Solid match. Somehow.
Very solid.
Trish Stratus did some moves that I've never seen her do.
And showed you why she's Diva of the Decade.
Yes, and D, as long as you know me, you know I love Trish Stratus. And you know my new thing, Charlotte Flair. I had a feeling that this match was not going to be good just because Trish Stratus is old. She doesn't have the same build she used to when she was wrestling and all those things. But she's doing the yoga. She's really small, really thin, really fit now with the Stratisfaction yoga. But she came out there and performed. And
she shut your mouth, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And so Trish has returned to her throne in my book for me. Personally, it's just that there's a bigger throne sitting next to her, which is Charlotte Flair's. But Trish Stratus is still, she's proved why she was Diva of the Decade, like you said.
Classic.
Hell of a way to go out.
Yeah. Passing of the torch there.
But it was passing of the torch, like
snatching of the
torch in a good way to where she performed so well that this is the right way you pass the torch, right? Like when Gail Kim had her match with Tessa Blanchard, which I've yet to see the full match. I've only seen highlights of it because I can't find it, the full match, but I want to. But it was like that, where people were talking about that for a long time. Like, hey, this match was great.
Charlotte earned that victory.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and trust me, I guarantee you the Gail Kim Tessa Blanchard match is better than this Trish Stratus. I'm just surprised because Trish Stratus. How old is Gail Kim? Because Trish Stratus is 43.
Let me look that up real quick.
And Gail Kim was still wrestling and in her wrestling shape, right?
Right.
And versus Trish Stratus, where no.
Being a mommy.
Gail Kim's a year younger than her, so I take that back. Gail Kim is just amazing, so. But yeah, but I still feel that Trish Stratus did her job in this match, and I felt that she did it well, considering everything. Because Gail Kim doesn't have kids. Trish Stratus has 2 kids. She's that's what she does now. She's a mother. I don't even know how much of her stretch action yoga she's doing anymore. I think it's just like, I'm a mommy now, and then she was able to come out of being a mom to put on this match. I mean, all the credit in the world to Trish Stratus for this. The next match, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. I'm not gonna lie, I was let down by this match. I felt the way that it ended. I did not like the double count out. I liked Randy Orton taunting the family.
Yeah. The ending was crap.
Yeah. No. Well, it wasn't even that. It was just
garbage, man.
I wish that he would have done something to intimidate the family other than look at them.
Yeah.
To intimidate the family, to force Kofi to go off and force the double count out. That's the one element this match needed to turn the ending from a crap ending into a solid ending. I think that, he's just looking at them. Maybe if he would have gotten to their face while he was holding the Kofi's lifting them up and everything, but he was just like staring at them. I felt that if he got closer to intimidate them in some way. Then I would have been like, because it's bad when the commentating team has to explain to you why Kofi Kingston is going off. Versus you being able to see it yourself. Because I was like, wait, why is Kofi? Okay, he's looking at your family, but he's not doing anything to them. He's just holding.
It ain't like he was making his way over there to him.
Exactly. Like if you did something like that, that would have been cool. Like, and that would have made the ending a lot better. I just felt that one element turned what could have potentially been a solid ending where you understand that we're going to draw out this feud to, it would have made it make sense.
Maybe Kofi missed his cue and he went too early.
Maybe. Maybe. Because it was shocking because it said the commentating team had to explain it.
Even Kobe tried to explain it,
Exactly. When he had to explain on SmackDown. So it's like, when you have to do that, it's like when
you screwed up.
Exactly. Basically. It's like when people are criticizing episode 8, okay? And the director's like, oh, well, here, read this text, or here's what this was supposed to mean. It's like I read a comment where somebody said, if the director has to come back after the movie and explain this much, then that means the movie was bad.
Yeah.
And I felt that was the same way with the ending for this Kofi match. And you're right, maybe Kofi missed a cue. I would like to believe that's what it is, because that ending was so bad that I don't even know what happened in the rest of the match. I don't care.
Because even I went through stuff like that where I missed my cue and then had to come back and explain it. Well, you got to understand, baby, it was a rough day, and I just, wait a minute, wrong context. So, but anyway, the point is, Kobe.
So irrelevant. The match was irrelevant because of the ending.
And that really blows. This is a world title match, and you shouldn't have to.
And they start the match by saying this is the most prestigious prize in WWE or in professional. What do they say? In sports entertainment. The 53-year history. They start the match with all of this to give us that match. Like, oh no.
I thought the Universal title was the most prestigious match. And
we all know if it's the Raw belt, it's more prestigious. We all
know the fruit roll up there,
So let's move on. The Fiend Bray
Please.
Wyatt defeats Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
The surprise of the night.
Well,
I mean, like in regards to the presentation,
it was great for the Fiend.
it was, yes, it was that wowed me. That was okay. I'll reword it. That was the wow factor.
Yes, that was very good. The intro was good. The exit was good. He's using the mandible claw. Great.
Love it. Because it fits the Fiend so well.
And he actually mandible claws them into a pin versus like the ref ending the match, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it was just a good showcase. I felt that this was a good debut for the Fiend. I felt that there's a couple of things that could have been better, but it was a good debut for the Fiend.
That's all the match was about. Building up, showcasing the Fiend. Finn Balor
I have a feeling that the Fiend is going to be the new Undertaker, where he only comes out for big things.
Really?
He's not going to be on Raw weekly. He'll do the Firefly Funhouse, but match-wise, it's going to be a rare occasions to get the Fiend. I think that's what they need to do. They need to keep it that way.
I almost freaked out when I saw that lantern. I honestly thought that was Bray Wyatt, but it's like, no, it's the lantern with Bray Wyatt's head.
Yeah.
That creeps me out.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then they still got it
made out of the dreadlocks.
Out of who?
Bray Wyatt's dreadlocks.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I did not know
for him
that.
carrying them. So it's obviously a Bray Wyatt head, but it's Bray Wyatt's dreadlocks that are curled up and to make the handle. So it was pretty cool.
So
wow.
they
more creepier.
redid his song too.
Yeah.
It's still the same song, just got a more eerie version of it.
I honestly like just the weird noises for the end. I wish that his intro was just that, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like those weird noises that I make, like when he was leaving. Like I like that better, and when he was interrupting matches. But whatever, I'll take what I can get, So, but yeah, I thought it was very good debut.
But it was interesting.
I'm gonna be honest, man. This to at least for me personally, this just shows you the span, the range of Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
This dude can take any gimmick and make it work. Seem like, because no matter what they do to him or how they have to recreate him, he captures the fans.
Yeah, I'm a Bray Wyatt fan. I am a Bray Wyatt fan.
I mean, of course, Husky Harris didn't go over too well.
Nah.
But the minute he came back as Bray Wyatt, and from then on, every gimmick, every angle he had, man.
Other than the match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania, that was terrible.
Oh hell, the whole story was terrible.
Yeah, so
what was that house, that fight they had in the house
of Horrors match?
Yeah,
and then the ring
with the worms.
Yeah, that was terrible. I mean,
that was just showcasing WWE technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scaring Randy Orton out the ring. Oh no, maggots. Well, that's wonderful. Hooray, Fiend and Bray Wyatt. Now time for the good stuff.
Okay, the good stuff. Seth Rollins defeats Brock Lesnar. What do you guys think?
I thought the match was great.
Yes, great way.
This is the first time I have been happy to say that I am a Seth Rollins mark. Like, because Seth Rollins, Charlotte's my girl. Seth Rollins is my dude,
Yeah.
So this is the first time that face Seth Rollins has made me say I'm happy to have stuck by your side despite my disappointment with you for months now. Even the promo that he cut last week, this is all I do, like I don't even care for that. But the match made that promo better now. Just because the match was very, very, very good. And
you got go ahead. I was gonna say, and you got to give major props to Brock.
Exact. That's where I was going with this.
Definitely.
I'm tired of people saying that Brock Lesnar's washed up, nobody cares about Brock, blah, 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 blah. If this was not Brock Lesnar, this match would not have been what it was. So, Brock Lesnar, people forget the Brock Lesnar-Daniel Bryan match, the Brock Lesnar-AJ Styles match. In the past 3 years of WWE, those are three of the best matches, period, that WWE's main brand has put on. You know?
And he put him over.
Exactly. A lot of people like the Brock Balor match, right? So people are forgetting that in the past 3 years, Brock Lesnar hasn't been involved in some of the best matches on the major roster. People are forgetting that. So when people say things about Brock Lesnar, I'm just like, man, you guys need to get over it. Like, you know, this guy is doing what he does for a reason. He's a big draw for a reason.
Well, like I said a while back, that he is the new version of Andre the Giant.
Yes.
That's why you don't see him often.
In my opinion, as great as Seth Rollins was, Brock was better in this match.
Yeah.
Brock was better than Seth Rollins in this match.
Took the bump, sold the moves.
Exactly.
Sold the match.
Brock was better at telling the story than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did everything he was supposed to do in the story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
All he had to do was be Seth.
Yes. But Brock Lesnar is what sold this match.
Yes.
And in my opinion, this was obviously the best match of the night, in my opinion.
And it was an A+ match.
Yes. Agreed.
And it made, and to be honest, it made Seth Rollins the real hero.
This legitimizes Seth Rollins as the Universal Champion much more than the first time he beats him at WrestleMania. This is the match that defines him as the Universal Champion, not the match at Mania. Because the match at Mania, I didn't like a lot of people liked it. I didn't like the low blows and all these things. Now the real question with WWE for me is how do they follow this up?
Exactly. Because you didn't like. Yeah, you didn't like his run.
No, I did not like his run. I did not. I'll be the first to admit it. I did not like the Seth Rollins run. So now I want to see how this new run is going to be now that Brock Lesnar can't challenge him as long as he's champion. So I do want to see the new run for Seth Rollins. But for anybody who's talking bad about Brock Lesnar, this should prove to you why he is who he is in this business. You know, and if you're still not convinced, then I question your legitimacy when you say I'm a wrestling fan. You know, this was all Brock Lesnar. This was all Brock Lesnar.
And I also, and as far as the build up to this match, I'm gonna give that credit to Heyman.
Yeah.
We had Brock come in to beat the crap out of him.
Those were actually very good. So, yeah, this was all Brock Lesnar who turned this into an A+ match, in my opinion. It's by far the best Seth Rollins match we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, because it had the real drama behind it, and like you said, what was cool about this match, it was a clean win.
Yeah,
wasn't no chairs and and kendo sticks and shotguns and all that, and 3 and 4 kicks to the nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
This was just just nothing but guts and determination, dog.
For a second, it almost looks like, I don't know, from hindsight to me, it almost looked like a retirement match for Brock Lesnar. Because, like, when has Brock, like, done so much for a match and to have someone win over him clean other than maybe Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Like, it almost felt like I would never, like, when was the last time you seen him, like, do so much for...
So the thing that I've realized about Brock Lesnar, if he likes what's going on, he's really invested.
Yeah.
And so and that's what I've realized about Brock Lesnar. The whole Goldberg stint, like, Brock Lesnar said, no, if Goldberg squashes me, it'll make everything much more interesting. Like, that was Brock Lesnar's idea. That was not, like, Vince McMahon, like, hey, we're going to have Goldberg squash you. Because a lot of people think, like a lot of the, I don't know, I guess the wrestling marks believe that Brock Lesnar is like, I'm only going to come if I can hold the championship and things like that. And that's not Brock Lesnar.
No, that's basically the character.
Yes. But Brock Lesnar backstage, like, he gets mad. Like, when he had to hold the title and he was supposed to drop it to Roman the first time, he was mad.
Yeah.
A lot of things like that. So, because they want, it'd be better if we just do it for this or do it at this time. Like, that's not what Brock Lesnar wants. So a lot of people don't understand that Brock Lesnar is doing his job, but he cares about the perception of things as well, which is why, you're going to give me AJ Styles? Yeah, I'm going to give you a match. You're going to give me Daniel Bryan? Well, I'm going to give you a match.
Right.
Finn Balor, I'm going to give you a match. And I don't even like Finn Balor, but I think he knows, especially at that time, because Finn Balor's another one of those guys who kind of needs a character change, but his can be simply joining the OC. That's why Balor's thing, because I think the Balor club and everything's getting kind of stale. But Balor was still at the height of his game at that time, and so Brock Lesnar was like, okay, Finn Balor's the top guy, I'm gonna give you a match. So I think that's how it works for Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But overall, I was very satisfied. Despite those matches that we did not like, or I think we were kind of in agreement, I felt they did a good job at SummerSlam overall. I would say they did a solid job. And I'm looking forward to next week just because what we're about to go over now, this week's Raw and SmackDown. Like, I'm actually looking forward to next week. So it starts out with the Seth Rollins, I did it, and then AJ Styles comes out, so we're going to skip that. The Samoa Joe Sami Zayn squash match. So I don't really. I felt the build up to it. The backstage stuff with Sami Zayn was great, but it was kind of a stretch. It was kind of a stretch. I'm sorry, a squash match. So I really don't want to talk about wasting time on a squash match. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. What do you guys think?
I could have lived without it.
Me too.
It was just a way to finalize the story, because with last week,
exactly.
But it is the story finish between those two. I hope it is. But if they continue to do this feud,
well, where's it going though? I mean,
where does it go? Like,
seriously. Nobody.
They've gone against each other,
and nobody cares.
Yes. Yes, I care about Dolph Ziggler right now, but I'm
sorry. Miz got to go back to heel.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Did you notice I didn't even mention his name?
Because
this is irrelevant.
His face push. I'm glad you're a dad and got your show and all that business, but come on, this face push ain't going nowhere, bro.
No, and everybody knows it. So we're not going to pretend. Everybody knows it. Elias versus Ricochet, unnecessary.
Yeah.
Really did anything. 2 out of 3 falls. Rey Mysterio, Andrade.
Oh, it went Andrade won twice.
Yes.
Yes. Clean sweep.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see where the Mysterio angle goes, though, because
it's going to be interesting to see where the Mysterio angle goes. Seems like he's getting ready to hang up the boots sometime soon.
And also
giving you the prelude to that. But the match itself is great. But I've seen it a lot.
Right.
These two, so I expected a lot, and they delivered. And that's the thing, is these two just know how to put on matches, man, with each other.
And a little trivia here. Rey Mysterio's hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I heard a big noise. His tattoos, his chest tattoos, somebody need to tell me look like a bra. So you need to get that worked over. Because that's all I kept looking. I'm like, damn, it looked like you're wearing a bra. So he need to...
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. But you remember that video I showed you with the thong? That was great.
Yeah. Now imagine him wearing that with that chest.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
And I'm reading this thing, and they're saying the match was sloppy. It did have some sloppy spots. I'm not going to lie, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference to say the match was sloppy, so it sucked. No, it's still entertaining. Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander.
That was a good match.
That was
in my opinion. Yeah. Now he did a good job of putting him over, even though he lost.
Mm-hmm.
That because it was mainly it was made to showcase Cedric Cedric. I almost call him Cedric the Entertainer, but Cedric Alexander without completely killing Drew, because they let him finally dominate at the end with that.
The whole match, top to bottom, great.
Yeah,
probably the best match.
That lumbar check on the outside.
You was not bored.
Mm-mm.
Now here is a wasted spot.
No Way Jose versus Robert Roode. We're gonna just skip. We're not gonna even give it any credit.
It's
Neither,
just, you know,
they didn't either. It's an F.
it's just a way to get the Toronto crowd up and about since he's from
I didn't
Toronto.
see. I didn't hear him getting up about it.
No,
It
it
was a
served zero purpose.
bathroom break.
Yes.
That was it.
Lucha House Party versus the Revival. What did you guys think
I have
about?
my hopes on that.
What did you guys think about the
Yeah,
24/7? I mean, the whole thing. The only reason that it was saved, two things saved this match. Scott Dawson, when he picked up the groggy Lucha House Party member and grabbed his arms like a puppet, started going Lucha, Lucha. that was funny. And then of course the 24/7 getting involved and then getting the double pin, like that was actually pretty funny. And then so it turned out to be good. The 24. It's crazy that the 24/7 segments are some of the best segments going on right now. But
that match needed it because.
Oh yeah, if they would have done it, if they would have just done a match between Lucha House Party and the Rival. Oh my god.
That would have been another.
I was so like, I can't believe they're doing this. Then of course the 24/7 interrupts it. What about the Boss coming back?
A+ move, man.
Yep, exactly.
That got me.
I mean, because now this is Sasha Banks as she should be.
Oh yeah,
What
definitely.
she should have been. Not Billy's buddy, not trying to be the stand-up girl. This is the bitch who is full of herself. And she took some.
I love Corey Graves. I told y'all this whole time.
Yeah, I told you.
Corey Graves.
Oh man,
Graves, man.
Corey ate that up, dog.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Why
are you surprised?
Commercial break, when it came back from
He's still saying it.
The
He's
shocking,
still saying it.
The shocking thing that Sasha Banks did. Let's take a look at this. I wasn't shocked. Things like that. I'm telling y'all this the whole time.
And you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of when the way Bobby Heenan went off when Hulk Hogan turned heel. I've been telling you the whole time for years.
I keep forgetting I got to talk to my buddy about that. How you were telling me that Bobby the Brain was saying that about Hulk Hogan the whole time. So it was fit because he said he's younger. He just turned 30. So I need to have that conversation with him.
That was his ultimate "I told you so" promos, man.
Yeah, but here's what I didn't like: the Toronto crowd started saying "boring" when Natty was giving her speech. Like, what is wrong with these people?
It's just those marks that wanted to take over the show.
Yeah, like what is wrong with these people? Because I'm starting, it's for me. It's weird because I don't like her using the Jim the Anvil Nighthawk for everything.
Yeah.
And, especially to tell a wrestling story. But this was great. This made the Sasha Banks turn much better.
But also I can give her a pass on the Jim the Anvil thing because this was his anniversary.
It's been a year.
This was the anniversary, and it's still 1 year. But I want to know. Here's what I mean. I'm not talking about her using it. I'm saying that the WWE is making her use it to develop.
Okay.
Like I don't like that. To me, that's tacky. But I understand that they're all about the business, so they understand.
Yeah, and honestly, most extra wrestlers like Jim, like Neidhart would approve.
Yes, and that's why I know that that's okay. Yeah. But if she weren't doing this, the Sasha Banks heel turn would not have as big of an impact. So so it worked. It was magic.
And I see she used a little bit of the whole Kira Hogan hair color deal.
Yeah, she did blue Kira Hogan, and then of course, then Becky comes out to help, and Sasha
get her ass whooped.
Yeah, with the chair like 20 times it seemed. That was really good.
That's a great kickoff.
Yeah.
There was one point I think she legit got hit in the head with the chair.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I think it was unintentional though.
Yeah.
But still, Well, you know what? She took a broken nose, so I guess.
Oh yeah. She's fine. Yeah, she'll be good.
Oh yeah.
War Raiders we'll skip because we already know what that was. What about I gotta ask you, D. Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross winning super clean over the Kabuki Warriors.
I hate it. I mean, I can understand the push of the whole Nikki Cross and
How about if I
and
would have
Alexa.
said, what if I would have said, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss cheat to beat the Kabuki Warriors?
Yeah, I could take it a little better.
Yeah,
I just don't like.
I think they should cheat to beat the Kabuki Warriors.
I don't like the Kabuki Warriors being the casualty for anything,
I agree.
anybody. And, I mean, they too good, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to just be scrubbing, to some storyline. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If
Now
they
let's
cheated to win.
Yeah, that would be understandable.
Yeah, because you don't expect them to lose it the first night. Like, I didn't expect them to lose it. I was surprised that they didn't do a dirty tactic to beat them.
Right, and I could let them, and even in the fatal four-way last time, I could buy that one.
Yeah.
It was a fatal four-way.
Mm-hmm.
But one-on-one, or woman-o or against woman-o or whatever you call it, I hate it. I mean, because it's like they just taking two of the greatest, women wrestlers in WWE, in Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Basically.
Yeah.
They're kind of at that level of
They're almost like an afterthought now, man.
They're a little below mid-card, right? And
yeah,
think about that. They're a little below mid-card, even though they're two of their best. So
even the announcers say, man, at one point,
yeah, Asuka was this,
one of the most feared women.
Maybe this will help her get it back, and all this, and now that. Did you see Dolph Ziggler wearing a Kabuki Warrior shirt during his whole thing?
Yeah, I saw that.
Wearing his what?
Dolph Ziggler was wearing a Kabuki Warrior shirt during his whole thing on Raw.
Oh, bless his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he better not be messing with them, though. They mine.
What was y'all's oh, go ahead, Eugene. You were going to say something about this match?
No, I was going to say, do you think maybe it's because Paige wasn't there to be like that mouthpiece to kind of help them solidify that celebration?
Then get two other women. I mean, there's women there every day sitting in the back,
But I mean, maybe that's why they didn't win on Monday because, if they were to win, you would need someone to
I don't even care that they didn't win. That's not my... I knew they weren't going to win. I felt that they cheated to beat them.
Right. And honestly, I don't think... I mean, maybe that's what they want to play it up in the story, but they don't need Paige to win matches.
No, I told you, I don't think Paige... I think when Paige says she wants to work with Asuka, I don't think she meant this. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is what Paige meant. And because this is not working for any of them. So...
No.
And then the last match turns out to be just, kind of a OC gets involved, and then next thing you know, Ricochet and Strowman come. What was y'all's opinion of that?
I thought Brock was gonna come out. Honestly, I thought he was gonna turn and do something. But I mean, it's interesting to see Strowman kind of get into the picture of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you it's going to be a 6-man tag next week.
Of course it's going to be a 6-man.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that coming,
What's the next pay-per-view for
that's supposed to be
September
Clash
or something?
Yeah.
In Charlotte.
Okay. So I guess we'll find out,
Every belt on the line then.
Mm-hmm.
What? Tell me something. Where the hell is Bobby Lashley?
Injured.
He got injured.
Oh, what's hurt?
I don't remember. His elbow. He had to get bone spurs removed from his elbow. I think he's due back in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But apparently Heyman is going to push Bobby Lashley.
Finally? All right.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see Lashley and Lesnar?
I hope.
Walking Armageddon.
Fingers crossed.
I hope. And I want them both to be heels. Because face Bobby Lashley is nowhere near as dangerous as heel Bobby Lashley. So face Bobby Lashley couldn't beat Brock Lesnar. I don't even know that heel Bobby Lashley would beat him, but at least it'll be more interesting of a match. Heel versus heel, Lashley versus Lesnar,
If Walking Armageddon Bobby Lashley takes on Brock Lesnar, the one who was just bad, didn't say much, he just knew he was badass and told you, and that was it. Oh, yeah, he'll take Brock Lesnar.
So let's go to SmackDown. Shane McMahon, spine of Kevin Owens. I personally want to skip. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it because you guys.
No, I don't.
I don't like the Kevin Owens.
No, because this is
perfect opportunity for me to explain what pissed me off even more about this Kevin Owens thing.
Vince McMahon, Stone Cold, all over again.
Yeah, sure. But did you see Owens' new shirt?
What did it say?
Oh, stun Owens stun.
Stun
Oh my
Owens
god!
Stun instead of fight Owens fight. Now it's stun Owens stun.
Oh,
So he is 100% invested into.
No Owens, no. No
Come on,
Owens,
man.
no.
Yes. And the thing is, like, the funny thing is, speaking of, this is a good place to take a little break from just going through SmackDown for a couple of things that I did. So I watched the Straight Up Austin show, and in there they showed highlights of him, going to wrestling with Sal Volcano from Impractical Jokers, and he drops the Stone Cold Stunner, showing Sal Volcano the Stone Cold Stunner, and it just looks 1,000 times better than the Owen Stunner. Like 1,000 times better than the Owen Stunner. It looks so good. And then it made me think when we were talking about the DDT. Why was Jake the Snake's Roberts DDT the best? And I went back and I watched a montage of Jake the Snake Roberts DDTs, and it is by far better looking than any other DDT.
And it's believable.
Yes.
As a finish.
And what I realized that Jake the Snake did well with his DDT that you don't see other people do is Jake the Snake. It's almost like if Jake the Snake was getting speared, how he imagine you take a spear and you land on your back and you flop or you sell the move, right?
Right.
Jake the Snake's body moves like that when he DDTs you. So that's what makes it look like he's coming down with so much impact. Both of his legs shoot up real high in the air when he drops with the DDT. All those things. And when you look at everybody else do a DDT, they don't do it like that. And that's where Jake the Snake gets that snap. Everybody else's doesn't seem to have that snap. But Jake the Snake's does, because Jake the Snake, he it's almost like he was selling a move when he was dropping the DDT.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this, I never even knew what DDT stood for, and I looked it up.
Oh yeah, it's an insecticide.
No. DDT stands for Damien's Dinner Time.
What?
Yep.
Man, look here. Let me hip you to something. Okay, Damien didn't come around to WWE. Jake the Snake was doing DDT before he even before that was he even knew what WWE was. When he was down here.
Were they calling it the DDT?
They were just calling it DDT.
Oh, okay. So,
DDT is an insecticide.
So it is the insecticide. Yeah, so I guess they changed the name when it went to WWE.
Right, and I didn't even know that he gave it that name, Damien's Dinner Time. I remember when he was wearing them orange baggy pants.
Yeah, so because you know how the STF is step over toe.
Yeah.
What is it? Toe face lock. So I didn't know if the DDT have a real name, but what I was gonna say is, when you look at the way Jake the Snake delivers the DDT, there's only one other person, and this is why I felt that he took the move to another level. The cutter, Randy Orton. The way Randy Orton himself does the cutter, when he puts his whole body into it, and the way he falls with it and everything, is why the RKO looks so devastating.
Yeah, it's how you sell it.
Yeah, and so it's those things. Not and you say how you sell it, but it's not how, because usually you say selling moves is the person who's taking the move, how they sell the move.
Right.
No, I'm talking about the person who's giving the move.
Giving the move, yeah.
They're selling the move they're giving is the big difference. And Jake the Snake, the way he falls through, if you go back and watch a Jake the Snake video, look how he falls through with the DDT. That's what made it look so good. Think about Raven, who had a beautiful DDT, the even flow. The way that Raven used to fall with that DDT was beautiful, right? So that's the difference between Jake the Snake's DDT and everybody else's. Is when you see his fall with it.
Because Raven's was like a non-stop motion.
Yeah, and it was almost like he just threw his whole body back instantly, right?
Right.
And it's
And-
like, yeah, but
and
same
Jake
thing, the way that he fell with it.
But
And
but
that's
the,
what separates those two DDTs from everybody else. Because those to me are the two best DDTs out there. The
And
Big
the-
Snakes and the Even Flow
the
DDT.
key, the key with Jake's DDT is what Jim Corn. The way, I guess Jim Cornette said it best, but not about Jake. Say when he talk about, he said it's not fast, it's sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he said, it's that snap.
Yeah.
Because
And Raven got a snap, but the way that Raven fell back was complete differently. It was different than the way Jake did, but it's the way that they sold their moves. Because Jake, if you watch Jake the Snake's Roberts DDT, and then imagine him taking a spear, coming down with the impact of a spear. That's what made Jake the Snake's DDT work. And so this is what we're saying when we're talking about the Kevin Owens stunner does not work for personally me like it does for Stone Cold, because Kevin Owens is not doing the move justice.
No,
For
because
it to be a finisher.
it's just not his. I mean, that stunner. The stunner is just by itself. It's just too iconic now, and it's owned by Stone Cold.
It's also too soon, right? It's too soon, And the other thing about it is, like, for example, Kevin Owens does a lot of things really well. Kevin Owens has a nice frog splash. Kevin Owens has the cannonball in the corner, which looks good, right?
Right.
So he's got a lot of good moves that look good the way he does them. It's just now you're using one as a finisher that does not look good when you do it.
Yeah, that'll be just like other people using the rock bottom as a finish.
Well, Montez Ford used the rock bottom in that match. You saw
Oh yeah, that's right, during Takeover.
Yeah, and it actually looked good. He did a good rock bottom. He didn't do a Uranagi. He did a rock bottom.
Oh no! I mean, other people use the move. Of course, they call it the Uranagi.
No. Other people do a Uranagi. The rock bottom is different. Because the way that the Rock sold the Uranagi, same thing. But Montez Ford did a rock bottom. The rock bottom is just Uranagi. But what I'm saying is the way the Rock did it, it's this iconic thing. And Montez Ford didn't do a Uranagi. Montez Ford did a rock bottom.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, the rock bottom. Wait a minute, Rock falls with it though, right?
Rock falls with it. Even
versus,
some other people, you can still fall with it with a Uranagi. Like the bookend is just a Uranagi, right? But the way that Rock has the hand out,
it's more slanted.
Yeah, you could do it slanted. There's that style Uranagi, but the way that Rock has the hand out and everything when he's doing his, right? Think about when the Rock and he kind of lays down with you and he goes and he kind of holds you up and then he falls with you and slams you while he has got the hand out. Like Montez Ford did that. He didn't do it. He didn't, because remember he tried to do the people's elbow, and then they got up. So then he used the rock bottom later on, and you can see that he studied the way the Rock did it. And he's like, okay, well, here's how the Rock did it. He sticks his arm out, he lifts you up about this high, and he goes down with you, he slams you, right? And he actually did a rock bottom. He didn't do... But what I'm saying is, the way that Montez Ford did a rock bottom looked way better than what Kevin Owens does with the Stone Cold Stunner. Right. So, let's move on. That's just my rant. That's just my rant on moves and why, and me going back and looking at Jake the Snake's DDT and how beautiful it was. Charlotte Flair versus Ember Moon. What'd you guys think?
Match. Well, no, not. I was about to say match of the night. No, that was a good match.
It was not match of the night, but it was a very good match.
Yeah.
Decent. It was better than Ember Moon and Bailey.
It was better than Ember Moon and Bailey. But I'm saying for a SmackDown match, Dion? Great match.
Yeah.
For SmackDown.
But even though she lost, it showcased Ember Moon.
I agree. And maybe it just goes to show how good Charlotte is, that Bailey couldn't do it, but Charlotte could.
Right.
It's just gonna set up, Charlotte versus Bailey at Clash of Champions, in Charlotte's hometown.
She better win.
Yeah, I have a feeling she win.
If she don't win, she should go back to her real name, Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley Fleer.
Yeah, like you just said, I'm reading it right here. That's possibly the future. Match of the night is Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
I almost forgot about that match.
Now, how you forget about that match?
Yeah, no. I don't know why. It didn't cross my mind at the moment.
I mean, this this was, I mean, Roman did for Buddy Murphy what your boy did for Cedric Alexander.
No. Because Buddy
Oh
Murphy
no.
looked way better than Cedric Alexander.
I'm just saying, as far as having them step up and putting them over.
Sure, but Buddy Murphy came out looking way better than Cedric Alexander. So again, props to Roman Reigns. Props to Roman Reigns for this. Because this was a excellent match.
Yeah.
But now the
it
question
was match of the night.
Where do you go for Buddy now?
Anywhere. Like I said, he's in King of the Ring. So that's why I said if he wins King of the Ring, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because this loss didn't hurt him by any stretch.
No, as I said,
he already made his mark.
If not, he better go far in King of the Ring. To me, they kill Buddy Murphy if he gets some crap done to him in King of the Ring. If he gets a solid run through King of the Ring, then he's fine. Because
he should go to the. He should represent SmackDown like the final.
He versus Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin versus Murphy.
As far as I'm concerned, he ought to be vying for Shinsuke Nakamura's.
Well, I think that's going to be Ali doing that, and then Ali versus Murphy have classics. So
if they don't keep. Yeah,
if you really want to make things interesting, you have Ali beat Nakamura because Nakamura wasn't even on TV and he's the Intercontinental Champion. Neither was Ali, by the way. You have Ali versus Nakamura, and then you have Buddy Murphy versus versus Ali for the Intercontinental belt. You have them run a set like they did in 205 Live, where they put on some of the best matches. Yeah, you're in for a surprise if you want to see some good matches.
Some wicked stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and then just off topic, who do you think is behind these whole Roman Reigns incidents?
Daniel Bryan.
Oh, it's Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
Huh?
Daniel Bryan.
It's Daniel. I think he's just denying. I think he's just denying it at this point. But he's gonna come out and say it.
Why? Okay. Why you say that? Well, I mean, what angle?
Number one, these two were scheduled to be in a program with each other. So how about I stop there?
Yeah.
The rumor has been that these two are going to have a feud against each other. I'll stop there. How about that?
But try to run him over with a car?
Well, they're playing it like he's blamed. They're saying it's Rowan, but
right.
Really,
but I'm just saying,
Rowan is only doing it because Daniel Bryan said.
Remember, Daniel Bryan's big secret. He's got a bigger plan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to unveil why he's doing it, you know? That's all I'm saying. Kevin Owens versus Mojo, we're going to skip.
Yes, please.
I guess the only good thing is that he actually used the pop-up powerbomb and tried to pin, and that's when
Elias
had to pull out the referee. I did like the Elias fast count, though.
1, 2, 3.
What about the New Day versus the Revival and Randy Orton?
Wait, but before then, did anything happen with the 24/7 title at SmackDown?
No, because remember it was off limits. It was off limits.
Yeah, he gave what's his face the night off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was so traumatized.
Yeah, he was so traumatized from the attack by.
Even though he won the damn belt after all.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Shane, I still tell you, when people are getting mad at Shane, he's doing this thing as a heel, and he's starting to get the asshole chants now. So as I said, I instead of people complaining about Shane, I say challenge yourself to rise above Shane McMahon. So I do want to give credit to that. I know I'm skipping over the Kevin Owens stuff, but it's more so Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. New Day versus Randy Orton and the Revival.
Okay. This was clearly, as you know, to showcase, for Randy Orton to get his one-ups on Kofi, to prolong the story.
Mm-hmm.
And also for the Revival. I mean, it was for the heels to have their night.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I liked the ending. I liked the no contest and they Randy Orton getting Xavier Woods and then giving the RKO to everybody else and I like when Dash Wilder gave, I'll tell you this really made me, cause this is what I'm talking about being able to tell a story in the ring and making things look good. When Dash Wilder gave Xavier Woods the arm DDT, how Scott Dawson was licking his lips when he was looking at him and everything, and he starts attacking, went straight for the arm. Just the way that Scott Dawson sold that. So the rival to me rose even more because these guys are serious when they're talking about old school wrestling.
Yeah, that's the more modern day Anderson tag team.
Yeah, right.
Holy and Orange. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look like they nephews of them.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was licking his lips, and they even they were saying, "Oh, did you see?
You saw that weakness."
Yeah, did you see like the commentators even spelled it out? But the fact that he was able to sell that without the commentators even saying anything, that made me gain one little move like that. Think about what I'm saying to you. That's all Scott Dawson did, but it sold everything so much more because that reaction that he gave to it. That's wrestling. That's wrestling right there. So, yeah.
Telling the stories, man.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Randy Orton getting off the RKOs was fantastic. And,
torturing his friends first, and then
yeah. Well, he hit Kofi with 2.
He came. Well, let me see. After he was going to do something else to him, he decided to drop him and go after Xavier Woods.
Yeah. And then they did Big E, and then they did do a last one to.
And then gave Kofi one last one.
Yeah. and I, you know what else I thought was great? Another thing, selling a story with a simple motion. Randy Orton and the Revival grabbing Xavier Woods and Kofi by their hair and wrapping their hair up and things like that. Just things like that. It makes Randy Orton seem like he doesn't care about you. He's enjoying the damage he's doing to you, which is what Randy Orton's character is, right?
Insult to injury, man.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And of course, the Revival with their things how Scott Dawson took off his shirt and he acted like he was going to throw it to the crowd. He's pointing to the crowd who wants it? And he just throws it straight up in the air so it can land on the ground next to him. Those guys are great at selling themselves. And that's what I mean. That's wrestling. That's what makes great wrestling versus okay wrestling versus average wrestling.
Well,
being able to sell yourself in the ring with simple little nuanced things you do.
Well, that comes with character development.
Sure.
To know how to work the crowd in such a manner.
Exactly. So those are the reasons why I really enjoyed this match.
Orton is the human embodiment of the word sinister.
Mm-hmm. Which is why face Orton never works, because once you've seen heel Orton, it's like, no, become face.
No, dude, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm still trying to get over that cheerleader jump. I can't. That was how long ago? Every time I think of face Orton, it just keeps coming back, man, like herpes.
You and I have been on cheerleader jump for 10 years, at least 10 years.
Man,
we've been on cheerleader jump for at least 10. Have you seen it?
Orton don't know what he did to me.
He RKO's Christian and does a cheerleader jump.
It was
I remember that.
It was Mark Henry.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Henry.
It was Mark Henry. Okay.
But I know what you mean.
He broke character and cheerleader jumped, and I ain't been the same since.
It took me a while to. You know what? It took me to that angle where he was, where he had pissed Triple H off so much with the stuff he was doing to Stephanie that Triple H invaded his home.
Yeah.
When he became that sinister.
Yeah.
It took that long for me to get over cheerleader jump Orton.
Ooh. It just. Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's still
that cheerleader jump.
Even now, it still got a sting, man. just when I think about it.
But you know what I want from Orton? I want to see more of the torture stuff that he did to Jeff Hardy and that.
With the earring holes.
Yeah. I want to see more things like that from Orton, and that's what I felt they could have done with the family thing. But it's like you said, maybe Kofi missed his cue, or either that or bad storytelling.
he attacked too soon.
Yeah, either that or just bad storytelling. But as I said, I felt that yesterday redeems the story for those two with the way it
Mm-hmm.
finished. I do
Yeah.
believe that it redeems the story. You know, just the way that Orton, was able to do all those things, and I say grab them by their hair and do all that stuff. Like, Orton's just
Well,
really good.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Even though I hated the finish, because even if the cute everything was on was where Orton made a move toward the family or whatever, and Kofi went off, I still would have hated the finish. But in the long run, I guess it would be better because you want to drag this story out a little more.
Yes,
because it's an 11.
Because I think this is going to be the thing that makes Kofi his championship run is going to be defined by him defeating Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's an 11-year,
the demon in his past, right?
Yeah, 11-year history of it, though,
exactly.
man.
So that's why it's going to be solidified by him defeating Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even mind if he loses to Orton first, and then he has to come back and redeem himself again, and
Right.
And gets a second title run, and that can just be a transitional. But
yeah, but the only thing
it would help the story, I feel.
But the thing that hinders it is the whole no rematch clause thing,
Yeah, but I mean, he can earn it again, right? That's what I mean.
Right.
He can earn it again, like how Seth Rollins had to earn his match. But
or maybe they have it.
The reason that I think that it's still a bad ending, even if Randy Orton did something, for me, it's the kendo stick part. Like, I felt that was unnecessary. Like, if you just kept trying to fight him on the outside and whatever and snap, but getting the kendo stick.
Yeah, I would rather just have him beat his ass.
Like a brawl, right?
Yeah.
Like,
get the upper hand on him.
Would have been better than a kendo stick. It's just like, Kofi with a kendo stick? Like, that doesn't even seem like he would ever use it. But I'm a stick with a brawl, but I would say number 2, a chair. It was really a kendo stick. But as I said, he should have definitely made a move towards the family before that happened. And I don't think Kofi broke script. I think that's just the way that they designed
how
it.
It was written.
And it was bad. So
okay, what you gonna do is look at his family. You ain't gotta do nothing. Just look at him, and then Kofi gonna go crazy. Oh, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That must have been some Vince stuff there, man.
Yeah. So,
just look at him with your sinister eyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He should have went up to one of the kids and say, "Stupid, stupid."
Oh man, I would have cracked up on that shit.
I said if he would have been like holding him up and he was like, "Oh, you want to come talk to Daddy? Here's Daddy." And something like that. That's good enough for me.
No,
don't do stupid. Just like, hey, here's your daddy right here. Like, do something like that.
Yeah, better yet, his name is not Daddy. It's stupid.
So that's my thing. But yeah, but I felt that this reignites the rivalry, especially after a bad finish to their match at SummerSlam.
I like how this is the second straight year in a row where the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam was like involving more family incident. Because last year it was AJ and Samoa Joe, and Joe's like, Wendy.
Yeah,
Wendy. Daddy's coming home.
That was. So
I'll be your daddy.
Damn. But to me, that's so un-Samoa Joe.
Exactly. That was so beneath Samoa Joe.
I mean, that was hot garbage.
Oh god.
Because
you want to talk about a feud I was looking so forward to until I saw the feud itself.
What's that?
The one that we just said. I was looking so forward to those two having a run at each other in WWE until I saw the run that they had with each other in WWE. Oh my goodness.
They know how to really F up some history, don't they?
That was so bad.
I know, man. And that feud should have had some classic matches.
Sure.
Between the two.
And I haven't seen any of them.
No.
And I refuse to watch any of them. Because I'm like, this is not Samoa Joe.
Nor AJ.
Yeah. So, Yeah.
Well, Samoa Joe is both in and out the ring. It's not him. And AJ,
So let's finish up with this thought. I want you guys to give your statement on this. If WWE can continue this run,
wait a minute, you cut out on me.
if WWE can continue this run,
Damn, it did it again.
Yeah.
You say it can't continue and bloom, it just.
if WWE can continue this run with this programming, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Are you concerned for AEW?
No.
No. Yeah.
Because I think AEW still it gives you variety.
But
You know,
here's the I agree. AEW is an alternative. But WWE is a production monster.
Yeah, I think
no
production-wise, they'll
argument
still
there.
get it.
They're a production monster. And if
Right.
they are doing enough to keep the fan entertained, will the fan seek an alternative?
I think that WWE has showcased in their history that they are able, when I guess backed into a corner, to really revamp their image, shape up their production, and kind of change things around to an extent where it helps out in the long run.
I
Whereas
agree. And
AEW,
to me, that was the main reason I was excited about the competition emerging.
Yeah.
And I feel that we're starting to see it even before AEW starts. Because what I think they're doing is they're trying to basically say, if you get 5 hours of us and we're giving you stuff of quality, enough quality, because as I said, we went through this and we still picked out the bad stuff, right?
Right.
If we're giving you enough quality, you'll have no reason to want to watch even more wrestling than we're giving you. And that's what I'm saying. Versus, let's go back 2 months ago. We couldn't wait for AEW to come out. Because the programming was so bad that you're just bloodthirsty for the alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? And so I'm saying,
Right.
if WWE continues this, do you think that hurts AEW in that way?
Well, now you're talking about for us personally?
No. Not as personally.
This
I'm
is
talking
a fan,
about overall,
fan base.
because I already know that we're going to watch AEW.
Okay. I would say it like this, the way I see it. Let's say, okay, WWE keeps improving and getting back to what they once were, or even somewhat close to it, okay? Like we hoping that they would.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what AEW does, because if they try to match WWE production for production, then they're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
AEW got to play their strong points, and that's the action in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Because fan bases still like variety. No matter how good, in my opinion, how good WWE's product is, they still want to see different talent, different options. And if AEW just play to their strong points and build off of that, their whole programming, then no, whatever WWE does shouldn't hurt, their popularity either.
So I'm going to go on record and tell you this. The Buddy Murphy Roman Reigns match to me was better than any match that we saw at Fight for the Fallen.
Saw better than any match you saw where?
At Fight for the Fallen.
Right. Well,
yeah. Agreed.
The Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns match was better than any of those. So, like you said, they're strong points. If WWE is going to start unleashing this talent, because remember, a lot of these guys in WWE are very talented.
Mm-hmm.
If they start unleashing this talent, we're going to get the action that you're talking about in WWE.
So basically,
as well.
Take the cuffs and shackles off of them.
So that's what I'm saying. If this is why I'm kind of worried about AEW now. This right now, WWE is making me worry for AEW. That's all I can say about it. I'm personally worried about AEW. But the only thing that keeps me secure in what they're doing is that I personally don't believe the statement I said when I said if WWE can continue this week to week.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think they can do that.
Let's see them do this for a month straight.
Okay,
Right.
so which is before AEW's TV deal, but Fight for the Fallen, All Out is coming up at the end of this month. So yes,
Right.
if they can continue this for a month straight, we will revisit this conversation in a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
About if we're worried, but I just want you guys to think about this week to week.
Frankly,
think about that what I just said.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Do this week to week.
Frankly, I don't see them. I don't see how they would slow down or back off. They already got it started.
No, you're right. You don't see them slow down or back off, but can they hold this? Can they hold your attention to this detail?
The action wise, yeah, but they strong point is still their storytelling.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Are they going to make interesting enough things? Are they going to drop the crap that nobody cares about and move forward in the right direction? Because if they could do all those things, then as I said, and have matches like the Buddy Murphy versus Roman Reigns weekly, if you can do these things weekly, then what's the incentive to watch AEW?
More action.
But that's what I mean, unless you just want more. But what if 5 hours is enough? You gotta remember, Dion, you are a diehard wrestling fan.
Yeah, I know.
Wrestling is your favorite sport.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is take yourself out of the equation.
But even still, I can get critical. So let me look at it from Dion. Okay, let's say WWE got all their stuff together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one thing that would have to happen for AEW, because no matter what WWE does in the ring, I think AEW can match them.
No,
they got the.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
but from a production standpoint, we know that's AEW's weakness.
They're not going to have anywhere near the money to do what WWE can do. We all know that. So let's just bypass that. So but what I'm saying is, if you are just somebody who's like, I'm a wrestling fan, but you're not Dion.
Right. Because I just look at it out of tradition,
exactly.
Even if the shit's bad.
Yeah, think about it. This is probably the first 2 weeks we've had straight of positive conversation of WWE, right?
Right.
So that's why let's just put it on hold, and I want us to think about this as we're watching for the next couple of weeks. And if they could put together a solid month, let's say this until Clash of the Champions and the week after Clash of the Champions, because everything is about the follow up to the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
So let's do it from Clash of the Champions the week after Clash of the Champions, because if they can string together that solid of a block, I am dead serious that I'll worry for AEW.
Just as long
Clash of Champions will be the final.
The week after Clash of Champions. Because, it's not really about the pay-per-view. It's usually about the follow-up to the pay-per-view. How we're talking about how they did a great job following up the pay-per-view for SummerSlam. That's what I mean.
The only time I'll get really worried about AEW is if I hear they hire Vince Russo. I'm just telling you, they might well go and unplug the TV now.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But right now, they got the elements. I know the in-ring, they got the characters and all that.
The other interesting thing I heard about AEW is that they've only unveiled 40% of their roster.
They only 40%. That's it?
That's it.
You mean we ain't seen even half of it?
Yep.
Damn. Oh, wow.
Did you hear about the upcoming shows that they already announced?
No, I didn't know.
So Wednesday, October 9th, they're gonna have a show in Boston, and then the week after the 16th, they're gonna have a show in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And they've announced a couple matches. Sean Spears, aka Ty Dillinger, is gonna face John Moxley the week after their debut. And then the show in Philadelphia, they're gonna have the first defense of the AEW World Championship.
Okay. And I don't know if you heard that at all out they're announced that they're gonna also have the inaugural women's championship. They're gonna have a battle royale.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so I mean, let's just put it this way. We're gonna revisit this conversation the week after Clash of Champions. We'll see if my prediction is right that they can't do it anyway, so there's nothing to worry about. Or I would like to be pleasantly surprised because no matter what, I'm watching AEW. You are watching AEW.
Me too.
Eugene's watching AEW, right?
Well, and you know, fans are going to watch AEW from the get go.
I think there should be the curiosity. Yeah, I think there should be the curiosity factor, but you have to sustain they're gonna,
the views. And then they're going to give them a grace period to try to see where they're going to go.
That I don't. Not everybody's going to do the grace period.
But
you're going to do the grace period. I'm going to do the grace period. Eugene's going to do the grace period.
But AEW got
WWE Mark is not going to do the grace period. So we'll find out. So that's going to be the thing that we look out for. Let's just see how consistent that WWE can be, to where right now I'm not a lapsed wrestling fan, because I felt that when Khan said it, he said it best. AEW is going to be for the lapsed wrestling fan. Well, I'm not a lapsed wrestling fan right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I'm still going to watch AEW, but I'm not a lapsed wrestling fan. So your whole product is not necessarily anything I need in my life. I'm gonna watch it because it's coming, but I don't need it right now. But I'm saying that off of 2 weeks. But as I said, I don't think that WWE can hold together. A full this style of wrestling for months. I don't see it. I personally don't.
They kind of for you they're in a prove it mode as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys, let's just wrap it up. Any last thoughts or anything, or?
Nah, I'm pretty tapped out right now.
Oh, what'd you think of what'd you think of Edge taking a bump during the pre-show? I think
it looked like he gave a soft spear. It looked like it was a real soft spear, and it looks like Elias extra flopped for it.
Yeah,
it looked like
it was nice though.
It was still good to see.
Yeah,
it was still really good to see Edge come out. One of the best theme songs in the history of WWE. All that happened. That was great. I wish that WWE, since they don't do fireworks anymore or anything, I wish they would at least gave him the smoke when he came out.
Yeah. That's a surprise though, because they did have fireworks
for Brock Lesnar.
for the main show, the opening
for Brock Lesnar. Yeah. They did it for Brock Lesnar. But I think Brock Lesnar's entrance needs the fireworks, and since he's not there every week, it's just much different when he does the hands down and a boom happens at that time. It just adds so much to it. Or when he used to jump onto the ring and that's when the boom happened, that just adds so much. But I thought that was cool to see Edge come down, but it looked like Elias was like, don't worry, I'm gonna hit this floor extra hard, so it's gonna be like you hitting paper, Edge, and it looked like he did it to protect Edge, so that was good. But yeah, I still thought it was cool. Oh, and also next week D and I we have a house show we're going to this weekend.
Yeah, forgot all about that, man.
That's this weekend, so we have a house show we're going to. So we'll give you guys the details on the house show. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for Wrestling Wednesdays, guys. And I guess we will see you next week. That is Eugene. That is D. This is Jay. Crash with Dash. Wrestling Wednesdays. Peace.
Peace.
See you.